Right.
What I said was before you come on and you give advice and you have the conversation about whether spanking is abuse or not, right? Then it would be nice and it would be the right thing to do because you would have the experience to speak from that standpoint. To have kids.
Okay, so exactly what Dean said.
So exactly what. Okay. So David, would you also hold to the claim before any man, any sorry to be more specific, any male speaks on abortion?
Here we go again.
Nice
what
for them
does that have to do with spanking and abuse?
David, do you know what an analogy is?
I sure do, and the one that you're making right now has no correlation to me.
Can you explain how this wouldn't have any correlation? The specific correlation is you're saying before, like, we come out here and give advice and give our opinion on if spanking is abuse, right? The analogy would be before men come out here and give advice or give their opinion on if abortion is wrong, right? They'll have to be pregnant, right? So I'm just simply asking you if you would agree with the conclusion of your logic, right, in another context. Would you say that it is okay for men to be pro-life, or is it not okay for men to be pro-life? Because of personal experience with the issues that we talk about is going to be required to speak on these issues. And males cannot get pregnant. It would then be necessary that males cannot talk about abortion. And it's a very simple concept. If you can't understand this and you just say that it's off topic or it's not tracking, man, I just don't think that you have the ability to abstractly think, and I think that Tashika's going to kick you. But you seem like a smart guy. I think you understand. Oh,
man. Demonize or make anyone feel bad about their opinion or their viewpoints, but I'm listening to how the host was speaking to the other guests that was on the show stating their opinions about.
Bro, I don't want to hear your freaking white knighting, dude. I
got it. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like Dean, I sat there, I heard Dean speak. When I start to speak or respond, then, I'm being cut off and I'm being, so all I'm trying to say is this, right? There are things in life that you got, that not just you guys, but everybody.
Dude, I really don't.
Experience.
So yes, and yet you wouldn't let us perform an internal critique. So I don't care to have this conversation. You don't seem like a person who is able to have these conversations and be able to critique yourself.
Right.
So I don't want to hear this.
I'm not a parent. Is it okay for me to tell parents that they can't break their kids' bones as a form of discipline? Or would I also need the personal experience of being a parent?
You have every right, and I fought for your right to have that opinion, sir.
Oh, my God.
I have every right to have that opinion, just like I have every right to have the opinion that spanking is abuse.
You have every right to have your opinions.
I asked you if I'm justified in finding it wrong for parents to break their children's bones as a form of discipline. Am I justified in having that opinion?
That is your opinion, sir.
I'm asking you if I'm justified in having this opinion,
that's what
regardless
I'm saying.
of the fact that I don't have the personal experience.
Listen, there's a difference between you having an opinion and then you acting on your opinion.
Okay, so if you're going to, I think I'm just going to move on. If you're going to have that particular worldview, you just have no standard for your life and how others should be treated and the type of values that people should have. And I don't care to hear that shit.
Damn, I was trying to be so charitable with him because I was thinking that he'd get it, but he didn't.
No. He doesn't. He has a problem with accountability. Hi, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Cool. So do you think that spanking is abuse?
Yeah, I do.
I'm just looking for people who think that spanking is not abuse. Please, guys, if you are in the guest request, remember we are just looking for people who believe that spanking is not abuse. If you do think it's abuse, WU, right? But we're not looking to speak to those types of people right now. Hi, how old are you?
I am 18.
Cool. So do you think that spanking is abuse?
I do not.
Okay. Well, again, all right, let's go on to the next.
Wait, she didn't think that it's abuse.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Whoops.
No, because usually.
I'm so sorry.
Hello?
I'm so sorry.
That's a child.
Hello.
You're not funny. Anyway, sorry. Re-request. I'll bring you back up. I am so sorry. I'm
Bro,
so sorry.
It's because on most topics, when someone says "I do not," that means that they agree
Yeah.
with us. But this is the one topic where they say "I do not," it means they disagree.
Sorry. My bad. My bad. Had a little bit oopsie whoopsie moment. But yeah, but re-request, I'll bring you back up. I apologize.
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 20.
Oh, okay, cool. So do you think that spanking is abuse?
Kind of. But kind of not.
That's a contradiction. Also, your Wi-Fi is kind of messing up. You have a delay. So I'm gonna go on to the next person. You guys, if you want to support me or Dean, my Cash App and Venmo is in my bio, and Dean's Venmo and PayPal is in his bio. So if you want to support us, make sure we get 100% of them proceeds. You got over there. Hi, how old are you?
19.
My Wi-Fi is not bad. Get a life. So, do you think that spanking is abuse?
Yes. I mean, no, it's
You think it's not abuse? Why is that?
because it's a form of getting your child to do the right thing.
I'm gonna have Dean take this one. I've been doing it all day.
Didn't I? Your name is so. Did I debate you yesterday?
He every day. Don't know.
Nah.
He debated. No,
Okay,
no.
it's
You were on my live.
Yeah.
No. See, yesterday was Sunday. I'm sorry, Dean. I'm still about Saturday.
Really?
He was on my live Saturday.
Okay, so you just to make sure, Steph. So you think that like hitting someone's not abuse if it's like being used as a form of discipline?
No, I think hitting a child, your personal child that you created, isn't.
Okay, so hitting your child is not abuse if you're doing so as a form of discipline.
It's not abuse. No.
Sweet. So yeah, if I clock my kid in the jaw, aka I hit them, it wouldn't be abuse, as it would be a form of discipline. Like I wanted to correct their behavior.
No, because that's over the top. We just want them to know
over the
that
top.
they shouldn't do that again, or they're
Okay.
going to.
So we're
get
saying
hurt
that
again.
would be abuse. We're saying that would be abuse because it's unnecessary harm. Like we don't need to give them that much harm. Well, the same could also be said about spanking. Spanking is an unnecessary form of harm because there's much more effective means of discipline, right? And
King Roach,
the
thank you for
logic
the
would follow.
subscription.
Right, you would consider spanking to be abuse due to the fact that it causes unnecessary harm, because there's better forms of discipline and which are more effective in correcting a child's behavior.
So you think that a belt to a child, like the person who's disciplining their child, they know not to hit them as hard as clocking them in the jaw or spank them as hard.
Well,
that it's
you're not
gonna
really
hurt
tracking
them
here, Seth.
as
Yeah,
bad.
so you're saying that like hitting them in the face would be abuse because you could simply spank them, which would cause less harm and get the job of disciplining your child done. But what we're also saying is instead of spanking them, you could use other means of, behavioral correction, other forms of discipline, right, to correct a kid's behavior that would cause less harm than spanking, right? So it seems as if, right, if we were to follow your logic, right, your logic would even classify spanking as abuse.
How would my logic make spanking abuse?
I just explained it to you. Because you classify hitting a kid in the jaw as abuse because there's less harmful ways to discipline your child, such as
That's
spanking.
over the top.
Well, what we're saying is it's also over the top in the context of spanking. Because there's other
Spanking
means
is
that
not
are less
over the
harmful.
top.
What is your criteria?
You're spanking your son with full force. That's over the top.
I don't know what full force would even dictate. I don't
Full
think
force
you do either.
is, I do full force.
How do we know it's over the top?
How much force you're putting in, like, your hits.
And how much force is acceptable?
How much ever you think is. for your
Okay,
child.
so if I think that the force involved with punching them in the face is acceptable, then it's not abuse? Just because I think it's acceptable?
I thought we were talking in terms of spanking.
Oh my god.
So we're demonstrating, right, something conceptually here,
Oh,
We're
okay.
showing that when we take your reasons as to why you don't find spanking to be abuse and we apply them in a more absurd scenario, it becomes quite intuitive, right? That your logic is bad. Right? Because you said, right, that we could dictate, right, how much force a parent is allowed to use to discipline their child based upon what they think is acceptable. So therefore, if I'm a parent and I think it's acceptable
Okay.
to break their jaw, like, you know, I don't see why this would poison issue.
Nobody is breaking their child's jaw.
Oh, that's just a lie. You were misinformed. Does child abuse not exist?
Nobody.
Hello?
Okay, but I'm talking in forms of discipline. If you're
Yes,
spanking
we
your child,
we do see parents
that-
doing that. We do see parents literally starving their kids, beating all those forms of discipline. Yes, we do
Okay.
see these things.
Okay, but if you're spanking your child, it depends on what you're spanking them for.
Okay.
If you're spanking them for no reason, then that's abuse. If you're spanking them because they
Yeah.
did something and you're trying to discipline them and they did something wrong, you don't let them do that again, then that's not
Dude, we
abuse.
understand this, but we're also applying this in the context of clocking them in the jaw. You understand this, right? It's also being used as a behavioral correction tool because my child did something that I didn't like them doing. And we would still see that it's abuse, but I want to understand what would be the relevant distinction between clocking them in the jaw and spanking them.
Them in the jaw is going to cause more harm.
More harm.
Way
Yeah.
more
What I'm saying here is how much harm is acceptable, because there's obviously some threshold that exists between the harm caused by spanking and the harm caused by
Not
clocking them
punching
in the
your
jaw,
kid in the
in which it
face.
becomes unacceptable. Yeah,
Not
but
punching
like,
your kid
can
in
you
the-
please give it like how much harm is acceptable? This is what I'm asking.
You can spank your child, but punching your child in the face
what's the
is
argument for
not
why?
acceptable.
Oh wait, can you give an argument as to why that level of
or-
harm would not be acceptable? Like, what outcomes does it lead to that make that level of harm unacceptable?
What punching your child leads to.
Yeah, what outcomes does that lead to that makes causing that level of harm unacceptable?
It makes them very emotional. That's
Okay, yeah, we see-
So does spanking not cause that same outcome?
It does.
So
it's not
under
a
your
distinction.
criteria, yeah. So under your criteria, it would be abuse then. There's no distinction.
You know, just because it's emotional doesn't mean it's abuse.
You be scaring the shit out of me every time you come up here, bro. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like having a straight conversation with you is ableist. I'm sorry. It's just not.
I think he's learning.
I
think
no,
learning
he's getting better, and I think he's definitely working. But it just fucks me up. Hi, how old are you?
I am 27.
Cool. Do you think spanking is abuse?
Okay, my personal opinion as a new time mom, I just gave birth December of last year. Spanking, I would say yes, but at the same time, I would say no.
That's a contradiction.
So, for me, what is it called? My type of spanking would be like a love tap on the hand, if that makes sense.
Well, can you, like that?
Yes.
What's that gonna do?
What the fuck is that gonna do? Hello?
Like,
No, that's not abuse. I don't think that's abuse.
yeah,
It's
that's
fucking annoying,
not abuse.
right?
That's pretty.
That's
like-
not abuse. But like, as for
But like even for discipline though, like what is that supposed to do for your child?
what
Like
the
if it's
fuck
not
is
gonna
that
do anything, you're just doing it for no reason.
What the?
Like
What is that gonna do?
like what is the active component in spanking? It's the fact that it hurts. That is what changes the behavior. It's the fact that it inflicts pain on the child. If you're just tapping your child on the shoulder, it's not gonna do anything. I just want us to be really for real when we use these terms.
okay. So like, are you guys against spanking or? Like what?
Yes.
Okay.
Spanking's gonna be abuse because it's spanking's gonna be abuse because it's logical outcomes in the long term and worse behavioral issues down the line. It's a very ineffective form of discipline that physically harms the child and causes these negative outcomes long term.
Okay. What is your definition of like spanking? Like hitting on the ass or like?
Yeah, hitting your kid with an open palm on the ass, man.
Not necessarily on the ass. You're just hitting your child as open palm typically as a form of discipline, or slapping your child as a form of discipline, more specifically.
I don't know. I think it like slapping them on the face different than like slapping them on the ass, but maybe that's just my interpretation.
A lot of people would dictate it to be that, but like the definition doesn't give a distinction necessarily.
No, there wouldn't be a distinction. It'd just more like be these particular circumstances. But I mean, like regardless, we could like lump those together and say that they're abuse for the same reason. How do you feel about that?
Sorry, what was that?
So why is spanking not abuse?
Why is spanking not abuse? Because I mean, look at the generation now. Like kids nowadays, they get away with it like murder, and they're disrespectful.
Are you saying that literally or figuratively?
Like figuratively.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She's saying that like the new generation has like less respect, and this is probably caused by the fact that they haven't been spanked. There's no evidence for this. We do understand that this is just your thoughts and feelings, nothing a fact. And it's like, just imagine that we are having a live on like Christianity. Like a Christian could say they're disrespectful today because they don't follow the Bible. A misogynist could say that like kids are so disrespectful today because they don't follow the strong men around them. And then, you know, a pro spanking advocate could say kids are so disrespectful these days because they're not getting spanked. But what we see is these are all like very emotionally driven claims with no evidence.
I have been beaten with a broom.
I don't want to hear that shit. Stop it. Stop it.
Long story short, I am still alive. I am perfectly fine. I respect my elders.
Okay, then it means that it ought to happen. Good job, though. Like, stop. I don't want to hear your fucking, like, your trauma dumping, dude.
It's not
Boundaries.
dumping.
Boundaries.
I'm pretty sure you guys were hit as you guys were growing up, or, you know, you guys still are growing up.
I was not hit. I was never spanked. So yeah, would you be able to like feel? Can you respond to my argument? You have no evidence for your claims.
What do you mean I have no evidence?
I mean that you have absolutely no evidence to substantiate your claim that in the lack of spanking, kids have worse behavioral issues. I mean, if anything, we'd have evidence to suggest the opposite, and I could give you that evidence if you'd like.
Go over this to make sure everything that I typed was like according to what you said.
Give me 1 moment.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Attention span. Are you going there? You there?
Sorry, you know, I am active military, and, you know, I have duties to do.
Then leave. Go fight for your country.
Bro, you're standing on stage in front of 2.7 thousand people. Like, how embarrassed would you be if these like nearly 3,000 people were in front of you? Like imagine that you were in a fucking stadium with 3,000 people watching us, and you said some shit like that. Like, bro, just go take care of your duties, man.
Take care. Thank you for your service. Go take care of your duties. We could make that same argument, like, man, the people in the military nowadays can't even do their jobs.
I'm 31.
Cool. Do you think that spanking is abuse?
No.
Why is that, big boy?
Um,
I want some dumplings.
because I see it as a form of discipline.
Go ahead and define discipline.
Discipline to me is the act of steering someone in the right direction when committing the wrong act.
So you're saying that discipline can't be abuse?
I don't think those words came out of my mouth, but What I was saying,
Okay. It wasn't in the
Well,
context.
it would be implied by the words that came out of your mouth.
What-
You specifically said that it's not abuse, given the fact that it's discipline, right? So therefore, it's just implied that discipline cannot be abuse. Because if discipline could be abuse, then this wouldn't be right some ample reason as to why it's
What
not
is-
abuse.
so let me ask you, since you took that based off my words, what is discipline to you?
What's discipline to me?
Yeah,
right?
like what do I
correcting-
categorize discipline as? What do I limit it to? What am I like?
I mean,
bringing back-
I would say that discipline could just simply be defined.
No, me,
as,
not you, me. You took my words to define me. Now define me through my words.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Are
What's
you
he asking?
Like I have no idea. Like you said words. There are implications
said
to
that
the. I'm
discipline-
still speaking. I am still speaking.
And I
Okay.
wasn't done.
I'm going to explain something to you because it seems like people don't even know how like language works, right? When you say one thing, it does imply the other. That is what Dean is saying here. So when you define discipline in this way, right, you did not also set the criteria that it can also be done via abusive means. That is all Dean fucking said, dude.
Yeah, when you're saying it's not abuse because it's discipline, we could just deduce that discipline can't be abuse according to yourself. This is just like the further like meta like justification. If we were to like take your argument and put it into like premissi and a conclusion, right? You'd say discipline cannot be abuse, and spanking is not abuse because it's discipline. You gotta unmute your mic, man.
You can hear me now? Yeah, the video popped up. That was crazy.
Okay.
But based off of what it is that y'all are telling me, you can take what I'm saying and use it to imply something, but what I'm saying is you don't know my understanding of it. So shouldn't you?
Oh,
actually-
no one cares. He asked you a question to clarify. No one cares.
Can discipline be abuse?
Can discipline be abuse?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So
Okay. Oh,
my
all
God.
of this
All of
for
that.
us for our deduction to be fucking correct.
I don't think disciplining your child is abuse.
All that for us to be correct, Dean. I cannot
Dude, I
stand
don't understand these guys. Yeah, do you want to go ahead and redefine discipline for us?
Why would I redefine the word? What do you mean? Redefine it in my definition of how I think of it.
Just give us your definition of discipline again.
I did that in the opening statement. when
I know,
said-
man, but I forgot what you said, and I want to make sure I don't misrepresent your position.
Discipline is catching the act and correcting it.
Catching an act and correcting it.
Yeah.
Right. So if catching an act and correcting it cannot be abusive, if I catch my child's bad act and I correct it by clocking them in the jaw, would this not be abusive?
So this is again my point of reference. That is open. You'll have to ask my viewpoint, standards, and understanding.
I literally just asked you a question. I literally just asked you if that was
I
abusive.
don't.
Because you said
That of course that is abusive. You're hitting your child in the mouth.
okay. So discipline can be abusive then.
So that's your form of discipline, is what you're saying. So you hit people in the mouth is discipline.
Well, your
So
your
if you're
definition
wrong,
of
if you're
discipline.
if you're wrong on anywhere else in life, you're gonna hit someone in the mouth.
Your definition of discipline was correcting your child's bad behavior.
Yes,
right?
correcting.
And we could conceive, right, of this hypothetical parent correcting their child's bad behavior by clocking them in the jaw, right?
So if I
and
could-
if discipline can't be abuse, well, then it would just follow that this would not be abuse. However, it's obvious, right,
I'm gonna let you
that
finish.
this is abuse. So either this is a bad definition of discipline, or discipline can be abuse.
So
Which
let's
one
go
is it?
back to it. So the act, right? I spoke of the act. You recall? So when speaking of an act, you know the act can be switched upon the action. So you can take a disciplinary act from not only a physical matter, from an educational matter, and any other standpoint that you mix it through. Am I correct?
Of course.
So if you were wrong on a test, am I to hit you in the mouth to correct your mistakes? Or
Well,
am
we
I
shouldn't
to-
do this because this is abusive.
or should I cross out the markings on your paper to show you where you were wrong?
And this is exactly what we're saying about spanking. If your kid does something wrong, like we shouldn't like hit them in their ass
didn't
because
say hit,
it's
though.
among one of the
I
least
said
effective
that.
forms of discipline. And one second, it's one of the most ineffective forms of discipline, right? And it causes negative psychological trauma down the road and worse behavioral issues, and right? And it's for these reasons that it would be abuse.
So when you had a question wrong on your paper, they just gave you 100%?
Well, no, they would correct me.
How? So they would correct you by doing what? Hitting you in the mouth?
They would correct me by gentler means.
Is that discipline?
Is that discipline? I mean, I don't think that.
You don't think someone
like
correcting you is discipline?
like in the context of me getting a question wrong on a test and getting like a 99 out of a 100, I don't think that's discipline. Because I want to say it's like bad to get a question wrong.
Not in the way that we're
Right, it's the effort
describing
that I
it.
got in, that
Yeah,
I
not
got.
in the way that you're describing it.
Unless
It
if we're
sounds
going
good.
to draw a distinction between correction and discipline, then it wouldn't necessarily be discipline. It would be more of a correction.
What? Hold on, run that back.
Yeah, if we're-
Like, I mean, dude, like technically, like I would
No, I'm
think that
talking
me
to
and
her. Don't speak
Tashika
for her. Don't speak
right
for
now,
her.
like me and
I wanna
Tashika right now are like correcting you, right?
I wanted
Because
to
you have
hear
bad
her, though.
logic.
You
Would you
and
like? Would you
Tashika
say that
can't-
we're disciplining you since we're
my
correcting
God.
you?
Am I talking to one person or both person at the same time? I thought I was talking
I'll
to her.
go. Yeah, I'll go.
you
ahead and
came
say
up and we
this
were
now.
both there, but it's fine.
No, I mean, as far as into right now, like you were speaking and I was trying to get the clarification from you. He jumped in to speak for you, unless that's how y'all work. I'm not sure.
I was there. Just finish the sentence, please.
No, you're talking. I need you to speak. I'm just trying to understand.
You were asking me a question
I wanted you to reiterate what you said. I was unable to
in regards to
understand.
what.
To the last
Yeah,
statement that you just
so
made.
I was saying if we're going to draw a distinction between correction and discipline,
Mm-hmm.
then getting something wrong on your test would not be discipline. It would be a correction.
And that's because of why? Because
Right.
because of your opinion to it?
Because discipline doesn't necessarily have to be for the correct reason, right? But say in the context of like a test, right? If you say 4 + 4 is 5, and the teacher's like, no, right? Because 4 + 4 is 8, right? We would know that would be the correct answer. The answer you gave was the incorrect answer objectively, right?
And like I'd just say that maybe
So
this
it
would
be-
reduce
question,
down to
wait,
opinions.
Dean, I'm sorry, I
right?
don't mean to interrupt you. Let me ask her this. 'Cause I want to be able to understand her more before you two go back and forth. It's like that's what causes the confusion for me. I don't know about anybody else. But I have to like fully understand your point before I can give more reasoning. You get what I mean? So my question to you would be, so it would be abuse based off of what? If the teacher was to say or was to yell, "You're wrong," would that be abuse? Do you consider that as abuse? Instead of the correction of them marking on the paper?
Verbal abuse would be abuse.
So verbal abuse is, so there's no such thing as verbal correction?
Well, yeah, it would be the nature in which they were the correction.
Do you see how this is kind of confusing? Because
Is it confusing?
discipline, so you,
I don't know if I'm
so
being
discipline-
confusing.
So discipline and correction, they are separate within the entity, but what I'm
You
saying
could draw a distinction between the two.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like the one point that I've been trying to say this entire
No, you
time.
go ahead, Dean. I was just trying to hear her. I wasn't trying to keep you up there. I was just trying to hear her. Go ahead. Take off.
Yeah, I mean, from my viewpoint, I'd say that me and Tashika are correcting you right now. We both think that you're wrong, and we're attempting to correct you in debate. Would you say that we're disciplining you? No. So it seems like there would be a distinction.
So you're saying that I'm wrong for my opinion? So my opinion is wrong. I'm wrong to have
Opinions
Yeah.
can't be wrong.
Yeah, of course. I think that your opinion is wrong. Yeah.
Having an opinion is not its own validifier. Opinions can be wrong.
So I think you all are wrong. So what you want me to just sit here and debate and prove the opinion?
It would be based off
Yeah.
of the evidence, right? Because it was people's opinions that I wasn't a full human being, right? But we have evidence to state that I am indeed a full human being.
Yeah, and then also, yeah, like I would like you to try to debate why our opinions are wrong, right? But like for instance, just kind of going back to why spanking's abuse, right? Spanking is specifically going to be abuse because of the long-term negative psychological outcomes that it leads to, right? It literally causes fucking mental issues, psychological problems, right? And then we also would have a lot of evidence to suggest that it causes even worse behavior. So not only is it not a good means of correcting behavior because it just causes worse behavior than it fixes, but it also leads to these negative psychological outcomes.
Like, and I'm like, this whole thing is like I'm not correct simply because I said you're wrong. If that's what you think this entire debate is, and I don't know what to tell you there, because not once did I ever make this claim. I didn't make a claim yet, right? But if I say something, there's going to be some kind of substantiation behind it. You haven't been able to do that. That would be like the fundamental difference based to determine like which one of us is more likely to be correct. You there?
Hello?
Did you not hear what I said?
No, I'm talking to Dean. I asked him, is he using statistical facts?
We didn't hear you ask that, but the answer is yes.
So my mic must be cutting out. I'm not sure. So when I said that, to go with her point, as far as in the opinions and the proving it right or wrong, I'm asking, is he stating that this opinion could be wrong based off the statistics that he has, that he's reading from?
Oh, brother, I'm gonna go and repeat myself once again. Right, spanking is abuse, right? Because first of all, I'd say that physical abuse is the unjustified hitting of a person, and spanking is specifically unjustified for the reason that it does not correct behavior. It only leads to worse behavior, and it causes these negative long-term
Is
psychological
that an
outcomes.
opinion or a fact? Is what I'm asking.
This is a fact.
And I'm asking, where are you getting the fact from?
We're getting this from the Journal of the Family Psychology, Journal of Family Violence, Journal of Family Psychology, American Psychologist, Development and Psychopathy, Family Relations, the Journal of Pediatrics, Child Abuse and Neglect. We have a lot of evidence for this.
Okay, and this is national that you're speaking of, so this relates to every single person on this globe, or is this like regional?
This would relate to
South
like
America. Like, what is this? Where is this skewed from?
So yeah, we'd have data from multiple institutions of research from across the globe.
So this is like Wikipedia facts.
No, not Wikipedia
No,
facts.
I don't use
Institutions of
Wikipedia.
medicine and science, right? Unbiased forms of legitimate research.
Unbiased. So they interviewed you as well.
They don't do interviews like that. That's not how that would.
I wasn't a part of the study groups.
So you aren't included into that statistic, and I'm not included in that statistic, and neither is she.
Do you know what an academic study is?
I do.
I don't think so. They
But
never do. If you did, you would. If you, no. If you did, you wouldn't be asking these dumbass questions. Bro.
There's no such thing as a
Like
dumb
you under
question.
we so we so
There
we use
are
like
things.
Okay.
so we use like sample sizes. Like for instance, like one of these is conducted on a little over 100,000 people. Another one is conducted on like 90,000. We see one with like 300,000.
90,000
And then
people
we-
from
and then
where?
basically-
like are these 90,000 people from institutions?
It would be
I already
a
already
random.
answered your question.
The way these sample sizes would be found to make sure that they're unbiased as possible is it would be like a random picking, right, from multiple places. That is, if you knew what these studies entailed, you wouldn't be asking these questions, dude. You don't know what this
I'm
is.
asking. See, this is the thing. I don't think you know people. I'm not asking the question for me. I'm asking the question for people. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the difference between actually being educated. Like
What does that even mean?
that means that there's others.
don't know.
There's others in the chat who may not be familiar.
There's others in
what
the
you're
chat
talking
who don't
about.
know how many fucking continents there are. I'm not worried about them. I'm talking to you.
Understood. And that's why for me, I don't know what you know. So for me to get a better knowledge, I do have to figure it
Yeah.
out.
So
right?
what specific questions do you have, the barber?
As far as into what?
Are you what? The studies in which would indicate these negative outcomes from spanking.
So we're taking 100,000 people who we don't know, they're unbiased. It doesn't matter. They could be.
I mean, in all, I think there's probably a little bit over 1 million people throughout, like, I don't know, the 8
So
papers
you
that
have
I
like
have
8.
on hand.
So you're saying it's 100,000 for. So okay, so 800,000 to 1 million people, right?
What is a substantial sample size for you?
Not the size that matter. It's the source that matters. So you're saying that you're taking statistics from people who could be these people, the same people who you're telling me that you don't care about in the chat, could be the same people that have been in the statistics. Like that's what's a contradiction.
That's oh my goodness. There is, yeah, again, you don't know what credible studies would entail, right? Because the way that they would test for these things is they do it, they find these people randomly, they make sure they don't have a connection to each other, they make sure, right? Because like as subjective as humans are, right, there are going to be some biases.
This topic is rough. This topic is really rough. For whatever reason, all the people that come up and debate on this topic are so uninformed. Like ridiculously uninformed.
So let me ask you this. So both of you, I'm taking have. I know Dean. I was
Like there's no way to kill bias in every person.
I was kind of speaking. I was trying to ask the question that Dean wanted.
I was trying to explain this to you because I just need you to understand this.
Okay.
Within studies like this, there's no way to take away bias completely. And studies pertaining to like human beings. That's not how that works.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Well, I was going to ask you a question before he left, but I guess I'm gonna ask it to you because. So you're saying that no, you're good, Dean, but you're saying that you I guess Dean said that he hasn't been spanked. So is that the same case for you as well?
No, I've been spanked before.
So what did spanking do to you internally?
I don't know.
You don't know? So it didn't bring you to be what the statistics say it's to bring you to be?
I have no way of determining if these things are a direct cause to my outcomes. No one does.
But you're using it to be the direct cause for the outcomes that you find it to be.
No, I didn't.
Well, maybe not you, but you're working together, right? You said
Neither of us made that claim. There's no way for anyone to determine whether or not spanking would be like the direct cause for any of their negative outcomes. What studies have found is that it it increases one's propensity to be like to find themselves in these negative outcomes. So
you're saying so why are we using statistics if it don't even matter?
It does matter though. It does matter.
It matters for who? For the person?
Yeah, so if you're okay, so this is like saying like if you're smoking, right, that increases your chances of ending up with lung cancer, but it doesn't happen all the time. Does that mean people should smoke?
You're asking the question?
That's what that was, yeah.
I'll repeat it. I was just trying to hear you. I wasn't listening.
Right. So okay, so we know that if you smoke a lot, that's going to increase your chances for lung cancer, right? But it doesn't happen to everyone. Some people go their entire lives smoking and don't get any kind of cancer. Does that mean that like you should smoke and smoking is fine?
Well, that don't mean that we know that then, ma'am. You just stated
Yeah,
that.
you don't know how statistics works. You don't know how probability works. You don't know how these studies work. I don't know how you live your life.
Can you repeat what you just said? Because I don't think you heard what you said. You said that.
What did I say?
In what you're saying, you said, repeat it. Like, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
You didn't. No, say what you thought I just said.
You said that we all know that smoking shortens your life.
Increases your risk for lung cancer.
We
all know that smoking increases.
Did you hear her say that, or are you speaking?
I heard her say this.
You know, she said this multiple times before you came back.
It's the second time I said this, and I repeated it verbatim. I repeated it verbatim.
So would you agree with the claim that we know that smoking increases your risk for lung cancer?
We don't know that. She just said that. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand.
I never said that we don't know that. I never. We know. At the beginning of that sentence.
Well, Jay Barber, you would disagree with a statement that smoking increases your risk for lung cancer?
Yes, I would disagree because that would have to be for everyone, right?
It is for everyone.
So this is the absurdity.
But you just said that.
Yeah. So this is what do you? Jay Barber, I have a question. Happen. What do you say that wearing a seatbelt reduces your risk of dying from a car accident?
In the circumstance of what accident? You can have an accident in whatever regard.
You're tweaking out. You're tweaking the fuck out, dude. I don't like. What basis do you have to like believe things?
But what
if this
what
is-
car accident?
It doesn't matter, bro.
If you
This is
if you hit me in the parking lot, me having a seatbelt on isn't going to save my damn life. That's what I'm saying.
Generally, all things considered, at the end of the day,
So what accident
does
are we
wearing a
speaking of?
seatbelt make you safer when you drive? Does wearing a seatbelt make you safer when you drive?
Yes,
Okay, why does it make you safer when you drive?
because it's part of the safety protocols. Of
Okay, and why is it a part of the safety protocols?
because it's ordained to keep you in your seat.
And why is staying in your seat important?
How can you drive the car if you're not in the seat?
So we should wear seatbelts because we can't grab our car when we're not in the seat, and the seatbelt keeps us in the seat.
That's what you're saying.
That when did I say these things? I was the one that just asked you these questions.
What
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
in the accident, right? We're speaking of
We
in the
share-
accident,
we
or you just
share a
speaking of
planet.
driving?
Hey, you're a barber, right?
What about it, Dean? Talk to me.
Would you say that like we know that generally speaking, when people get a haircut, they like it?
No.
Then why the fuck are you a barber?
What do you mean?
Rolex causing chaos. He's a villain.
Dude, I thought that when people get a haircut, they're happy with it. We don't know this?
So everyone that went to the military and got a haircut, they were happy with it?
That's
Barber-
not the
What is the question? Everyone
Barber,
that receives
let me
a
be more
haircut is happy
specific.
with it. That's what he just asked me.
I said generally.
Generally.
So generally
Generally.
speaking, when you give someone a haircut.
Now
they're
you're
happy.
saying you. You said generally, so it was general. So I put it in
because
general
he
terms.
knows you're a barber, and generally, because you're a barber who be barbering,
Y'all ain't like
right?
that one, did it? That's what it was. Y'all ain't like the way it bounced back at you. I get it.
What bounced
I
back
get
at
it.
us?
What do you say that generally when you
I
give someone
get
a
it.
haircut, they like it?
You just put it on me now. Yes.
No.
If I give someone a
This is
haircut, they will
about-
like it. Yes. That's not
Wait, how do you know
general,
that?
though,
Because
you're
has there ever
making it
been one
personal.
person that hasn't liked it? Has
Everyone-
there ever been one person that hasn't liked it?
General would take me out of the equation though, because it's personal.
No, it wouldn't. It would
personal
literally
to me.
put you in it. That's what the fuck.
Personally, anyone who receives a haircut
you don't
from
know
me
what
will get
words
it.
mean.
I don't think
You don't know what words
y'all like it. The fact that I gave it back to y'all the way that y'all wasn't expecting it.
No, you just don't understand these particular words in this particular sense.
He did not say you to Tanisha, is it something like that? Dean,
Where the fuck is there the N in my name?
Dean, my bad. I did not. I can't see your name. It says baby. Oh, Tashika, I apologize. I don't even like saying names because of that reason. I apologize for that. But Dean, did you not when you made this question, did you not create it generally instead of making it personal by saying you?
I think that we could like talk about like generalities in two senses. I was asking generally
As
speaking,
anyone
like all
in
bar-
this
It was-
entire
hey,
world
Barber,
would-
I'm gonna go ahead and mute you because I'm not done talking. Thank you. Yeah, when I did ask you the question, I was saying like generally, like all things considered, every haircut ever, right? I mean, I'd hold to this claim, like a $1 billion industry exists around giving people haircuts. And why does it exist? Because generally speaking, people will pay for it. Why do people pay and give their money for things? Because they want to pay and give their money for things. Why do people want to pay and give their
Thank
money
you,
for
Clever
things?
Cole, for the subscription. Thank you so much.
Because it makes them happy. So yeah, I mean, I feel like we could say that generally speaking, haircuts make people happy, right? Even though we'd be able to point towards more specific instances in which haircuts did not make people happy. Because a generalized statement is just simply what is most likely to occur, right? But in the context of what is most likely to occur, there can be instances in which women are unlikely, such as someone not liking a haircut. And this is exactly what we're talking about in the context of wearing a seatbelt or smoking. We know, generally speaking, right, that smoking will increase your risk of lung cancer because this is what's most likely to occur. Wearing a seatbelt will make you safer because this is what's most likely to occur. And spanking leads to worse behavior, right, and long-term psychological outcomes because this is what's most likely to occur. We would be able to point towards specific fringe cases of someone not liking a haircut, them wearing a seatbelt making their accident worse, not getting cancer from smoking, are not taking away the behavioral or psychological issues from spanking. But we would still say that you like your haircut, you should still wear a seatbelt, you shouldn't smoke, and you shouldn't spank your kids.
Lola Banks, thank you for the subscription. Thank you. I love you guys.
So you muted me because I made you have to pretty much.
You interrupted me. That's what I made to do.
So when y'all interrupt me, y'all don't mute yourselves?
Actually, I just did. I literally just muted myself.
I did too. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm
like,
talking,
dude.
T, you already know how you get. So
It's Tashika. I don't know who the fuck T is.
Oh no.
We are not cool. My name is Tashika.
So you go by T if you cool with people?
Fuck no.
Why are you pivoting? I just gave you a really good argument, dude.
No, you didn't. You muted me because I made it to the point where you had to go revise your argument. Like, you ain't giving no good argument.
He literally didn't.
Can you explain specifically about what my response to you was not good? Like, because right now your current counter argument
is not good because you had to counter it to reprove a point that you can't even prove right now. The fact that
all he did was re-explain it.
Hey, Barber, what point can I not prove?
Mute yourself.
No, what point can I not prove?
Mute yourself real quick, because I'm still talking.
You made a claim that I can't prove myself.
Can I mute you? Is there a way I can mute you? Yeah.
Nope.
I can't prove myself. So what specific claim did I make that I cannot prove? Because we could just simply revisit that claim and I could prove it.
My stomach hurts so bad right now, bro.
Casey, thank you for the $2 over Venmo. She says, unzip your sweatshirt for $15.
Oh, damn.
Bro.
Do it! Do it right now. I'll do it. Come on.
He ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna make
I don't think I even have anything under here.
Nah, they gonna ban you though.
Do it.
That. They gonna ban you.
That's $15. Yo, $15 is $15, Dean. I'm just saying that right now.
Dean, they gonna ban you. I'm gonna let you know already. But look,
wait a minute.
I'm gonna tell you right now. But look, what I'm saying is this. Dean.
Yeah, they get ready.
What I'm saying is this. The reason I made that statement just now is because when you first made that opening argument, right? You put it the way you wanted to put it. Because I spoke on it and gave it back to you in that way, now you had to personalize it. You couldn't make it general anymore because now you have to specifically point.
No, it's because you didn't fucking understand it the first time.
I mean, I'd still hold to that claim generally.
It's just
Barber, I don't think we need to personalize that claim. I gave you a response on this. We don't need to personalize that claim. I'd say that generally speaking, I mean, if generally speaking, haircuts do not be.
Are you telling me that everyone who gets a haircut in the military, they're happy?
What does generally mean?
Everyone who gets a haircut in the military is happy?
No, it means most of the time. It means most of the time someone gets a haircut, they're happy. And this is why $1 billion industry exists around it.
Industry doesn't just have anything to do with cutting hair. It's more than cutting. It's $1 billion because of other incentives. It's innovations and everything. So we don't have to talk about the industry.
You're right. I bet you know a lot more about the industry than I do.
And people like those innovations.
We can go back to the general question.
And people generally like those innovations and want for them to exist.
I mean, do you disagree with the claim that most of the times when someone gets a haircut, they're happy?
Yes, I told you I disagree. I know it. I know that to be a fact.
Then why the fuck are you a barber?
Because I am not the person that they go to receive that. It's a difference. It's a difference in everything. That's just like
this is such a nothing fucking conversation. It feels like every time we say something to you, it goes into a black hole that is your brain, and then it just doesn't come out.
No, it's in a warped galaxy between you two because it's spinning around. We ain't really talk. We really.
It's because you can't. No, it's really difficult because you can't grasp the most basic of concepts. We were talking about generalities, and here you are not even being able to understand that. We cannot have a conversation with you. There's a 30-point canyon.
So where's
Yeah, I don't think that we can have a conversation
when everyone gets a haircut. Can you prove to me that if everyone that generally
I would, because here's my thing. I can't wipe your ass for you. I can't wipe your ass for you. If you don't understand basic English, I can't help you. Hi, how old are you?
I'm 19. What's up, Dean? How are you?
Do you think that spanking is abuse?
To be honest,
Is this your fucking roommate, dude?
no, it's
No,
not.
it's not my roommate.
What are your
It's my boy,
clones?
though. This is one of my boys.
Your heckin' clones? Okay, do you think that spanking
Do
is
I
abuse?
look like fucking Dean?
Yeah, I mean, any white guy with a jawline does, but go ahead. Just,
Oh shit! I need to change my look. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't think spanking's abuse. To be honest, I think that when it's implemented in the wrong way, it can be, and I think a lot of times it is implemented in a way that is abusive. But I don't think spanking, just the idea of it, is abuse.
Dean, go get your boy.
No. I want you to debate him.
Because you were saying people are like uninformed. I'm definitely one of those people, and I haven't really thought about much of this, but me just sitting here, I feel like, to be honest, I feel like most of what you guys are talking about is when it's not used in the correct way. I don't think that spanking your child for them doing something that doesn't cause physical harm to someone else or to anyone that's around them, I don't think that that's good.
Oh no, I wasn't talking about that either.
I mean, how about we just run you through
that's
like a
what
dialogue
spanking
trigger
is.
so we could get down
That's
to the bottom
spanking,
of it.
and that's not abuse. So then you can't really say spanking is abusive.
Whatever. No, I
How
mean,
about you hierarchy, and so we could see like more specifically why you don't think that spanking is abuse in certain contexts.
Okay.
Would you agree that like physical abuse is the unjustified hitting of an individual?
Yeah, unjustified, sure.
Okay. And do you want to go ahead and define spanking for me?
I can look it up. To me, my definition that I'm running on right now,
Yeah, that's fine.
is essentially what I would go through, which is getting your little pants pulled down and a little slap on the ass. Nothing bad though.
Okay, yeah, and would you be so obviously this is going to be the hitting of an individual.
Sure.
Would you be able to provide the justification for it? Because if it were, we could see how this would be classified as physical abuse. I would hold to the claim that this is unjustified given the lack of good reason, but it seems like you might have some good reason, so we could just simply see if it actually is good reason.
Well, I mean, like, for instance, like if you have a child that you're, and in this hypothetical, in every other way possible, you're being the best parent you possibly can, and you have a child and you're just at work one day and you get a call that your child just randomly got into a physical encounter with somebody and hurt another kid and is not apologetic about it, does not care about it, which there are kids that end up like that. And a lot of them I know come from situations where they are being abused and mistreated. But there are also there are people who just come up and they're just not taught the correct way, or they're not understanding of that. I've been around kids growing up that like haven't really understood that there's a thing like that people can hit back, or that there's people that will hit you back. And I think that to the right extent and the right situations, which I'm not saying applies to anything or most of anything, I don't think spanking is like a good thing to do all the time or often at all. But I think that there are situations where it can be beneficial, especially if there's already an extreme situation going on.
I don't know, two issues with this. First issue, hitting your kid to teach them not to hitting your kid because they did something you don't like, to teach your kid that it's wrong to hit someone else if they do something they don't like, is a little funny to me. That doesn't make that much sense to me, right? Because I think that may teach your child that it's totally okay, right, to hit someone that's doing something you don't like because your parent did it to you.
No, I think the lesson there more that I would take from it is that if you cause physical harm to somebody for no reason, there's a good chance that somebody might cause physical harm back to you.
Okay, so you'd hold children to the eye for an eye principle.
like, what kind of a moral internalization would a child be taking out of that? That they ought to be good simply because they may get consequences from being bad? Or do you want to teach your children to be good because good things ought to happen?
Yo, what?
Because then you're just raising a narcissist.
Are you saying that we don't have prison sentences to deter people from committing crimes and also to discipline people after they do?
Yeah, that actually doesn't deter people, and also, and second, again, yeah, right, because does every good thing that you do is every good thing that you do based off whether or not you will receive a particular consequence?
Honestly,
so you do good things for the sake of it being good.
Honestly, I'm thinking about a situation where that's not the case right now.
Okay, so like for like, the shopping cart
What?
analogy, the shopping cart analogy,
Okay. Yeah.
right? Not analogy, the shopping cart hypothetical, right?
Right.
So, when you go to the store, do you put your shopping cart back?
Yeah.
Right. Right. And why is that?
Just because it's a nice thing to do, and also
Right. You're not getting anything out of putting it back. You're not going to get in
What's what-
trouble for
it's-
not putting it back. Right.
you could get in trouble. Have you seen that guy on YouTube?
Yeah, that's not real trouble. Okay.
Well, I
You're
mean,
not going to
that would
get.
suck.
You're not. Whatever. It's not real trouble though. You're not going to get in any kind of trouble. There's no real consequences that you're going to be dealing with by not putting your shopping cart back. But you still do it regardless.
Okay, well, what does that have to do with this?
I mean that particular like moral stance that you're going to be teaching your children, that like, oh, you should not do these things because someone may do it to you. I don't think it's going to be a good moral principle to be teaching your children.
Like you should not go hit people because you might get hit back. That's a bad lesson.
Yeah, I think that's a bad lesson. I think there's better reasons to give a child a violation and hit people, not the fact that people will retaliate. I feel like that would lead to I feel like that would lead to like bigger problems for the child.
Tommy, thank you for the rose.
Because what in the context of the person will not hit them back, will that make it permissible?
No, it doesn't make it permissible, but there are a lot of people who will go into those encounters and not get hit back multiple times and walk around thinking they're the fucking shit and thinking that they should be getting into these. There's a lot of people.
But you're not accounting for that whenever you're teaching them these things, though.
You're not accounting for what?
Right, because you're saying like, yeah, they might have a moment where like they're going to be hitting people and no one was going to like hit them back.
No, I'm
whenever.
saying like I like there's a lot of people out there I feel like that don't know that there are people on the street that if you go with will hurt you. Like that there are people that you need to be careful around. And I think a lot of people don't respect the fact that there's a lot of people out there that are like not the safest to be around. I'm not saying.
Yeah,
again,
I think you can. I
to go
think you
back to
can
my
indeed.
point, I'm not saying you should hit your kids on the daily because they didn't do their homework.
I don't think you're saying that either, and I don't think that's not what I'm saying either. We're not talking about people who do it for small things. I'm talking about people who do it for discipline. All right, whatever you think is extreme, I also think is extreme. I'm thinking about what you think is not extreme. All right, whatever you think is not abuse, that's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Okay. And back to my point, do you think that if a child of yours got into, say not even one, say it was multiple, say the first couple times you were trying to be lenient, you were trying to be nice, you're trying not to cause an issue with your child, and you're disciplining them in every way that you possibly can, you take away their iPad or their Xbox or their DS or whatever it is that
I don't know what any of those things are going to teach a child.
Okay, but if you're saying that none of those things, but I'm saying if you go through that and your child is still causing actual physical harm to other people without the understanding that there would be consequences to it,
It means that whatever communication,
it
means whatever communication that you're trying with that child is not working.
What?
Right. I don't think that's something that the child would have to deal with, right? That's something that you're going to have to fix, not necessarily the child.
I'd also maybe like to add on here. Like saying that spanking can be a just form of discipline when all other gentler means of discipline fails. I don't know. It doesn't seem like the best argument to me, because if we just kind of take it one step further,
sure.
And we say, well, can pulling out your kid's fingernails be a just form of discipline if all other forms of discipline were to fail?
Why?
It seems like it'd still be wrong.
That's not what defines a just form of discipline. What discipline is that it is equivalent and fair to what basically triggered that disciplinary action. I don't think.
Okay,
this
so
is what we're talking
if I
about.
have a
I don't
kid-
think that you should smack him in the jaw like you were saying. Nobody thinks that. Nobody in here is saying
Yeah.
that. Like,
I don't even think that like this equivalent and fair form of discipline is just either. Like, for instance, when me and my sister were young, this one time she followed me around with scissors and ended up cutting my hand open. So would it have been justified for my parents to turn around, take scissors, and cut her hand open? There's also been stories on the internet of kids like grabbing and
No,
unaliving their children.
and that's
so would
not-
it be
and
justified for a parent to take a
and
pew
that's
pew and
not
unalive
at all
them?
what I'm saying, Dean. And also, your sister was not understanding of the severity of what she was doing, so there's no reason to provide that much of a response to it. And again, even in the case of some of your child causing actual like irreparable physical harm to somebody, I'm not saying you should cause irreparable physical harm to them ever. I'm just saying that there are times when not physical violence, not abuse, but spanking. That's what it's the middle ground. I don't know if anyone, I don't know.
So you told me a just form of punishment, right? Equal and like opposite, right? And then that's where those hypotheticals got born out of, because we were showing that punishment or discipline can still be wrong even if it is equal and opposite. And then specifically in the context of
I'm not saying
spanking,
equal
I
and
don't
opposite.
I don't see the
Just.
good reason. I don't see the good reason as to why it would be justified. You're saying to teach them a lesson so they don't hit kids again. Are you saying it's justified because it's an effective means of stopping them from hitting children again?
I don't know if that would stop someone from hitting children again, because I'm sure there are people who would take that spanking and then go hurt more people. But
then what's the justification?
But as far as anecdotally, which I know doesn't really provide as much to the argument as it needs, but as far as I've experienced in my life and the people around me, in the right situations, that kind of discipline can right people from not understanding that there are like actual repercussions to your actions. And a lot of times giving kids timeouts and little shit like that, like they don't care, bro. They don't give a
Oh, actually, I agree with you on this point. I totally do think that spanking can teach children that there's repercussions for their actions. Absolutely. I don't dispute this at all. In fact, I'd say it's quite effective at teaching kids that there's consequences for their actions, right? But of course, there's other things that would be even more effective. Like if I broke my kid's arm for doing something, this is definitely going to teach them consequences for their actions. Or, other forms of
That's
discipline
unjust,
that aren't
though.
necessarily have to do with spanking.
That's
teach them
Dean. Why are you
consequences for their
going to such
actions.
extremes all the time? That's unjust. I'm talking about.
Would you be
Thank you
able
for
to
the heart,
Just. I'm talking.
Would you
I'm
be
not
able to
talking about breaking people's arms or pulling out fingernails or cutting with scissors or any of that stuff. I don't know what you're talking about.
But would you agree that that would be more effective? That's the point.
How in any way would that be more effective? What?
Because
how
it would
is that
be better at teaching them the consequences for their actions.
I don't think that would be better.
Okay, so let's go. Okay, let's
How
go
how
back,
are
right?
how are we gauging like what is effect? Sorry, go ahead, Jessica.
No, I was gonna ask, like, if that's not effective, what makes spanking effective? Like, what would be the active component that would be different in spanking that would be effective but not effective in the context of like breaking their arm off? Thank you for the finger heart.
Like I said before, I don't believe in any situation that causing irreparable harm to anyone is not.
Breaking bones
I don't think
are
that's okay.
irreparable. Breaking bones are very reparable.
To an extent.
No, they are.
To an extent. Let's
So just,
let's
not
say
about
let's say to
irreparable
an
harm.
extent, because there are a ton of people who have broken bones and have never been the same.
Spanking,
So reparable.
spanking generally causes some form of like irreparable harm, and this is like my personal reason why I find it to be wrong. I don't think it's about the immediate damage. I don't think it's about the corruption. I think it's about the long-term psychological outcomes from spanking.
Right.
And we could see a lot of evidence to indicate that this is true. And I feel like if you've been in here for a while, you've seen me kind of go over some of those. We do see that generally speaking, spanking does lead to these negative psychological outcomes in the long term. And this is like the one and only reason why I think it's abuse.
And so on a lot of that stuff, on a lot of the sources that you brought up, like on an actual side note, like could you send me the links to those on Discord?
I'll do it right now.
I'm not going to go obviously through it because there's going to be a lot to go through. But like I'm saying, I'm making the point that in the correct situation, spanking is not abuse. And I don't think that every single one of the people that were brought into that study, or even a majority of them, were necessarily somebody who had experienced a spanking in the correct way. And the point that I'm trying to get at is that spanking can be abuse, but spanking on its own, at the definition of what it is in the correct way and in the correct, I don't think it's abuse.
So would you be able to show me that in some contexts, spanking does not lead to this long-term psychological damage? I mean, would you be able to give me any evidence of that?
No, I don't have any evidence that it doesn't. But Dean, what I'm saying is I'm going to look into the studies that you have provided, and I'm going to see if I can actually see any more.
Yeah, I don't know why you made this. I don't know why you made this claim. Then
what do you mean? What did you say?
I don't know why you made this claim. Then
what claim?
Insinuating that it doesn't always end in this type of harm.
Right. I don't think it always does.
I'm not, or that makes you more likely or predisposed for it.
So if the study was a pool of people who had checked yes in a box that says that they had experienced spanking, and then it was the study showed that a greater amount of the people who had experienced spanking were experiencing also these side effects, harm from the abusive nature of the spanking, then yes, I understand that, and that study probably shows that. And I'm not saying that that's not correct, but I'm just saying that I don't think that spanking, at the idea of it, I don't think that like in the correct way and in the correct situation that it's always abuse. I don't think it's always abusive, and I think kind of it can be cruel.
I don't know what this correct situation would be.
Yeah, so I understand what you're saying here, Sharky. You're basically saying, well, in some situations, it does not lead to these negative psychological outcomes, generally speaking. And it's like, yeah, if your claim were true, then spanking would not be abuse in these certain situations. However, like, I don't find any reason to believe that there exist situations in which it does not generally lead to these negative outcomes. And unless you could provide any evidence for
right, but we're not that's not what we're arguing. We're arguing the prompt is spanking abuse. We define spanking, we define abuse, and I'm telling you spanking does not fit the definition of abuse. There are instances of spanking that do lead to that and that I would consider abusive, but I'm saying that spanking, the word spanking is not a form of abuse on its own. I think that's the reason that I've been kind of in here, is because I see that, and I don't disagree with you. I think there's a huge problem with a lot of people growing up in this country and all over the world that are being like absolutely abused by their parents and the people that are around them and the people that are teaching them. But I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there is still form of physical discipline that is good, and I think that we shouldn't just say, oh, no, we never do that anymore, because now we're raising a bunch of people, and I can see it in some of my peers that have no idea that there are people on the street that if you walk up to and say, chupapi muñeño, you can get punched in the face. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a different thing.
So yeah, once again, I'd say spanking is abuse, right? Regardless if it would correct behavior, because it leads to long-term negative psychological damage.
Say that one more time.
So spanking is abuse even if it corrects behavior, because it leads to negative long-term psychological damage, generally speaking.
Right, but the studies that you're bringing up that back up that claim that you just brought up is what I'm saying I'm going to have to look into afterwards. And to everybody who's in the chat right now, I could be wrong. I'm going to go look at it after this, but from what I can get out of that, I'm talking about something different than what is in those studies. I'm not talking about everyone who's experienced spanking, because a lot of people have experienced abusive spanking. I'm talking about the people who haven't. I'm talking about the people who it was constructive for, and I don't even know if this exists. And I'm not even saying that.
Yes, I'm saying, I don't even know what that would look like. What would that even entail? How would you dictate that these things actually helped? Like, I don't understand what your criteria for harm would be. This is why I'm annoyed at this conversation.
My criteria for harm is lasting at like if you left a bruise on your kid, I don't think that's okay. If you broke a bone, I don't think that's okay. If you break skin and you make them bleed, I don't think that's okay. But if you slap them on the
psychological outcome, okay.
What?
If you give them negative psychological outcomes in the long term, is that okay?
I don't. What I'm saying is, I don't think that spanking.
But that's what we're saying, though. Right. We already know what you're saying, but I need you to answer questions.
And we disagree on that, because I'm talking about spanking in the correct usage and the correct instance.
So what's the correct usage of spanking?
We just went over that. I was talking about if you had a child.
I'll be right back.
It was causing physical harm or committing violence against other peers or people without the understanding that that's not okay, and that people will hit back and will harm you back. And I think that there are a lot of situations where it can be beneficial.
Yeah, would you be able to give me any evidence that when a child is spanked, when they cause physical harm onto another, that they wouldn't yield these negative psychological outcomes in the long term?
You said what?
Would you be able to give me any evidence to indicate that if a child is spanked in the context that they were hurting another individual, that this child will not yield these same negative psychological outcomes in the long term generally?
No, but those studies don't show that they will either, because those studies are of people who have experienced spanking. It's not the people who have. It doesn't go that deep unless there's a study that goes that deep that you want to send.
So what you're doing is you're positing like some positive assertment that like in these specific contexts you don't believe that it would like yield these negative outcomes, right? However, given the lack of evidence, there wouldn't be any justification to make this positive this positive claim. I mean, then like these studies would cover spanking generally speaking, and I'd say that this would be like more evidence than no evidence. So we could at least grant like some justification towards this ideal that it won't. I mean, think of it like this way. Right? Like we know that sometimes when we wear seatbelts, it doesn't make us safer. And we know sometimes if I weren't to wear a seatbelt, I would have been just as safe as when I did. But we could still make the generalized statement when we wear seatbelts, we're safer. And basically the way that this would correlate, maybe there's some times where spanking doesn't yield these negative outcomes. I'm sure there's going to be some cases. And maybe there's some times where spanking actually makes your mental states better.
Dean, what's
the still have that generalized statement?
Dean, what is the positive impact of not wearing a seatbelt?
Well, I mean, I'm basically asserting here, right, that there's like certain instances where people have worn seatbelts and got into worse car accidents and died, right? That would not have occurred if they did not wear a seatbelt.
Okay, but what does that have to do with what I'm talking about?
Yeah, because even though, right, sometimes wearing a seatbelt doesn't make you safer, we still know that generally speaking it does. And this is exactly what I'm saying in the context
who
of
the
spanking.
fuck are these dumb fuck delivery people?
You're positing like this idea that sometimes spanking. One second, that sometimes spanking can like not yield these negative psychological outcomes in specific contexts. First of all, we wouldn't have any evidence for that, and then second of all, we'd still know that it generally does yield these negative psychological outcomes.
Dean, you went so long, my attention span starts running out. It's so tough, bro. It's so tough. I be trying. I'm sorry, chat, but literally, I kind of forgot what you were saying. I was reading chat. What were you saying?
Stop reading chat, buddy. Even though we know that sometimes even though like we could recognize that sometimes it won't yield these negative psychological outcomes, we still know that generally speaking it would.
Right.
We'd have no like quantifiable way to measure the fact of the certain instances in which it wouldn't.
Okay.
It's like
wait. I'm ready. What I'm trying to say, Dean, is if what your claim sounds like you're making is that the general implementation of spanking across across whatever focus group that this study was on, which I'm sure was a huge one, has led to negative psychological impacts on the children that have experienced that. And I'm not saying that that's not true. And I'm not saying that overall spanking and the way that it is used by a lot of parents is a good thing. I'm not saying that. And like I said before, spanking can be abusive, but I'm saying the correct use of spanking. And I don't think that the studies you're bringing up in any way.
Yeah. Do you have any evidence of that?
No, I'll pull it. Hold on, I'm turning my PC.
See what I mean? It's like Sharky, I perfectly understand your claim. However, you just have no evidence of your claim being true. Like, I mean, that's just what it reduces down to.
No. My claim is that the claim is spanking abuse. My claim is that is not correct. And what I did is we agreed on our definition of abuse. We agreed on what spanking was. And I'm talking not about what you're talking about. I'm not talking about the general use of what we've seen. I'm talking about in the correct situations that we've gone over where there are children that cause physical violence and harm to other kids. And I think that in those situations, it can be the correct measure.
Yeah, you don't have any evidence that those children will not yield the negative psychological outcomes. So you can't make that claim. You can't make that positive claim unless you have the evidence.
Your claim, I literally hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. Did you send it to me?
Yeah, I gave you spanking docs, and the first, the link between corporal punishment and negative outcomes will be all the citations. It's just you're not providing any evidence for for the shit you're saying, you know.
Sorry, Dean. Give me a second. This is like.
I'm saying that not all spanking is abusive. You're using a study that takes all of spanking and says that it's led to bad things and then you're saying it's abusive. And what I'm saying is that yes, sometimes spanking is abusive, and a lot of times it probably is. But I'm saying that there are situations where it's not, and so you can't really just say spanking's abusive.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I understand what you're saying now.
Like,
Wait, I could actually agree with this. I could actually agree with this to a certain extent. So, like, for instance, yeah, I'm going to say that spanking's abusive because if it leads to these negative psychological outcomes, right? But what we observe is that there's going to be some fringe cases in which it will not lead to these psychological outcomes. And in those specific cases, spanking would not be abuse, right? And I agree with this. However, right, what we are denoting here is we wouldn't have the ability to make any generalized statement that it wouldn't lead to these negative psychological outcomes, nor would we have the ability to gauge in which specific instances it would not yield these negative psychological outcomes. I'm almost done here. I'm almost done, Sharky.
Okay, go ahead.
And in a similar way, right, you would agree to the claim that seatbelts make you safer, correct?
Yeah.
Even though there's cases where they don't, correct?
I don't know when they don't, but sure.
See what I mean? See what I mean here? So we could say that seatbelts make you safer because this is generally true.
Bro, what does
right?
seatbelts have to do with spanking, though? It's
an analogy.
It's a very different analogy, Dean. It's a very off analogy.
Can I ask you, like, what would make it so off? I just don't think that you're, like, necessarily grasping the underlying concept here. Like, the concept that I'm, like, portraying is that there can be some instances.
No, because what I'm saying is that spanking generally is a bad thing, but sometimes is not. And you're saying
you have no reason to believe.
You're saying that
this.
you're saying that generally seatbelts are a good thing, but sometimes they're not a good thing. And I'm just saying I have no idea when a seatbelt is not a good thing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's certain accidents where if someone was not wearing a seatbelt, they would still be alive today.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, sometimes like you could
Paul
have
Walker.
a car accident. Yeah, if Paul Walker was
Don't
not wearing a
disrespect
seatbelt.
Paul like that. Don't disrespect Paul like that.
No, if you read his autopsy, that's literally why he died.
It was because he was wearing a seatbelt.
They died because they went around a corner too fast and the car
And when the car crashed.
What do you?
Yeah, so Sharky, I read autopsies, right? When the car crashed, his friend died on impact. He did not. He was actually alive. He could not get out of the car because of the seatbelt.
I hear you on that, but that does not immediately mean that if the seatbelt was not on, he would have lived.
I'd agree.
If the seatbelt was not on, the impact probably would have.
I'd agree with Shark.
Nah, for real?
Bro? Like literally, what are you saying?
I don't get how you couldn't fall. I just gave you an example of which a seatbelt is what caused the death. He would have survived if it wasn't for the seatbelt.
I agree with Shark. High key on this one. I kind of agree with
What are you talking about? Am I missing something?
If he was not wearing a seatbelt, like he probably would have died.
No, not what I mean. That's not.
But that's what we're saying right here is that like it doesn't matter whether he had a seatbelt on or not because either way he would be bad. So the seatbelt.
Yeah, no, it would be. I was talking about
situations.
specifically in the context that like the seatbelt strapped him into the car. I understand in that context we would have been fucked, right? But the fact that even after the case, the seatbelt is what caused him to not be able to leave the car. That's what I was referring to. I still would agree if he wasn't wearing the seatbelt, he would have died. But the seatbelt is still what killed him.
Like a more intuitive case, Sharky, is like people that drive their cars off of bridges. I mean, like recently, like certain products to cut seatbelt cutters have become very popular for the reason that so many people have died from driving their car off of a bridge into water and not being able to take their seatbelt off, so they fucking drown, right? And those are gonna be like great cases to show that people would have been so much safer if they were not wearing their seatbelt. Apparently, Dale Earnhardt is also an example of someone that would have been alive if it was not for a seatbelt, but I haven't looked into that case.
Okay, but what I'm kind of saying is that that's kind of a backwards analogy from what we're talking about.
How's that? Because we're basically denoting that sometimes spanking won't yield these negative psychological outcomes, but we should still generally say that you shouldn't spank your kids because you don't know if it will yield the psychological outcomes.
The difference is that in those situations where having a seatbelt off or on would be the difference between saving your life or not, you do not have the wherewithal or the know about ahead of time to make that decision. It's just whatever you had on. It's whatever the chance.
Exactly. I'm still going to say that you should wear a seatbelt.
Is a reactionary disciplinary precautionary measure to something that requires that much force. And I'm not saying to cause a bruise. I'm not saying to break skin. I'm not saying.
Would
to
we
do
know
any
that this wouldn't cause the negative psychological outcomes?
Huh?
But would we know that doing so, right, in this context would not cause these negative psychological outcomes?
No, but why?
Exactly.
No, but
we
why?
wouldn't know that, but so therefore we shouldn't. In the same way, we don't know if we're going to drive off a bridge, get stuck in our car and drown.
I'll tell you what I do. And again, I'm going to provide zero evidence, so just get excited because it's going to be good. But Dean, if you don't discipline your child, if you don't discipline them in a situation like that, and you don't get your child from a young age to understand that there's a certain level to things that you cannot go past. You can't just walk up to people and slap them in the face. You can't just walk up and punch people.
Oh,
yes. Everybody
I agree with
has
you.
been around a toddler that does not understand how to
Sharky
or anything.
But see, this is a false dichotomy, right? It's not spank your kid or don't discipline your kid at all, right? I mean, we do understand that there is not the other forms of discipline, but there is incredibly effective forms of discipline, more effective than spanking. Like, in fact, right, we have a lot of studies that show that spanking leads to worse behavioral issues down the road. And if discipline at its core is basically supposed to be these preemptive and corrective measures to stop certain bad behavior, right, and then spanking your child would only cause more down the road, it seems as not only would this be abuse caused by the long-term psychological impacts, but it also just wouldn't be discipline because it doesn't legitimately solve behavioral issues, right? So in these instances, we could just simply use more effective means of discipline.
You know what, Dean? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get off for now. I'm going to let you guys get another guest up here. I'm going to, like a day. If you still do these like tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to go see if I can find some evidence. Cause I know my stance is good. I know I'm doing something, but I actually don't have any evidence, which is fair for everyone saying that. So I want to go see if I can actually find some stuff. I feel like I might be cooking a little bit, but Baby Bob, thanks for having me up here. Dean, thanks for having me up here. Everybody follow me if you agree that spanking your kids is not.
You gonna be on later, Sharky?
Hey, are you battling tonight?
I was just about to ask you that. Yeah, bro, just text me.
All right, bet. I'll probably be on. Everybody have a great rest of your night. Keep it fun. Love you guys.
All right, see y'all, man.
Bye.
I'm actually like really fucking mad right now. This is the second time I ordered food. Completely wrong order. Just an entire person's order. Not mine, but we finna see what they up with.
Dude, that's wild.
I'm about to. I don't know what this is, but I'm about to fuck it up because I'm sick of it. Second time in a row. Hi, how old are you? Thank you for the hat and mustache, by the way. Hello.
Over 18.
Okay. Do you think that spanking is abuse? I saw your comments. Who are you?
No. I don't think it's abuse.
Why?
I've been waiting forever to talk to you. Forever. Been sending you gifts.
She's a
been sending you
fan.
Love. Been telling you you're beautiful. Been trying all the things to get Baby Bot's attention. She never be looking.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't think it's abuse. I think it's abuse.
I'm sorry, why?
Dictionary, which I like by the Oxford Dictionary's description of abuse, where it says that, spanking on the bottom with your hand, and it specifically calls out on the buttocks. I don't mean spanking your child in the face. I don't think spanking your child, in the legs or anywhere else. If you got to tap them on the hand or something, if they're going to touch something hot, I think that's fine. But I think that spanking is more for the shock factor. I don't think that you should be spanking for pain. I don't agree that spanking has to have pain involved. I know when you guys were like tapping on the hands and saying like, oh, what's this going to do? I don't think spanking needs to involve pain. I think it's more for the shock factor. If your child is running into the road, if your child is going to touch a hot fire or something, I think that's when...
I don't get how you're going to say that spanking shouldn't hurt. Like, what's the point of spanking if it doesn't hurt?
Yeah, and if it was just all for the shock factor, wouldn't you just like clap in front of their face or some shit?
Jump
Because
scare them
it's-
on the
jump
corner.
scare 'em? Yeah.
Sometimes jump scaring them might work, but sometimes that doesn't work. Sometimes you actually have to, maybe tap them on the hand to get that shock factor.
Tap them on
actually.
the hand by causing them pain, right?
It doesn't actually cause them pain.
I'm so sorry. Does hitting people hurt people?
Not always. I've been hit.
So is hitting okay if it doesn't hurt?
I would say depends on the situation.
Okay, like what's a situation where hitting's okay if it doesn't hurt?
It would be situational. I can't give you a situation.
Okay, then give a situation.
What do you say that hitting generally hurts?
They don't know what that word means, dude.
Oh lord, double trouble. Does hitting usually hurt?
I suppose it would usually hurt.
Okay, so then therefore spanking usually hurts.
Not if you're with a child. I don't think you're usually doing it to hurt your child.
Bite the bullet.
I think that if you're
Bite the
doing it in a
bullet. Taste the
loving,
bullet. Chew the bullet.
well-intended,
I don't know how you hurt someone lovingly, but go off.
if you're
Bro.
doing it in a loving, well-intended manner, then I don't think that
Well-intentions.
it's.
So your
abuse.
intentions are going to dictate if they feel pain or not? Come on, be so for real. If I have a wife that I just love so much and they're just acting a little silly, so I hit her, right? But
We're
my
not talking
intentions are
about
in
your
the good
wife. We're
place.
not-
That's that
Talking
cute
about
aggression.
children.
I could hit my wife from a loving place and it will hurt, but when I hit a weak,
No, I'm
small
telling you
and
the
feeble child
conversation
from a
isn't
loving
about-
place, it won't hurt.
I'm not talking about spanking adults. I'm talking about spanking children. I don't think.
So yeah, you're saying if you hit a fully grown adult, right? It's
No,
it's
I'm
gonna
saying-
hurt. But if
No,
you hit
I'm
a little
saying-
weak and feeble
I'm
child,
saying the debate
it's
isn't
not
about.
gonna hurt.
I'm saying the debate isn't about your spouse or hitting adults. I'm assuming the debate is about children.
So yeah, you're gonna say that these two things would be different. They're gonna yield different outcomes. That's why we can't compare them. But yeah, you're saying if you hit a child from a loving place, it doesn't hurt them. So if I hit up my wife from a loving place, does it hurt her?
I don't know what this is. We're finna find out.
That's so funny.
I think there's studies that'll show you that spanking in a calm, loving environment instead of satisfying a parent's frustration will show that it doesn't have bad outcomes for children.
Can you give me one of these studies?
Sure, go to goodparent.org.
1 second. Goodparent.org.
And then there should be a search, and you can go to evidence favoring the use of disciplinary spanking. And
There's not a search on here.
It's a chicken salad
there
sandwich.
should be. Well, I found it on Good Parent.
I found it. Just put goodparent.org spanking, and it's the second link. I don't know what this is. I don't know if I like it. Let's try the giant fucking hoagie they sent me as well. I'm in a great mood right now, Chad, if you can't notice. Only studies that meet the most rigorous requirements for evidence-based medical practice or clinical field trials conducted by Roberts with clinically oppositional children to determine which backup or enforcer procedure was most effective in controlling a child's escape from a timeout.
I'm finding resources on their website that actually show how all forms of physical punishment are harmful. I'm literally like I have my camera on. I have my camera on. Here we go.
There's definitely on that site. There's both. There's evidence that shows that it's good, and there's evidence showing that it's bad. There's some that shows that it's in the middle, but there's definitely evidence favoring the use.
This is all I found. Evidence against the use of disciplinary spanking on goodparent.org. This is your fucking source, but it seems to go against your position.
Well, I have links that I've found on there that.
Yeah, so she's referring to the one that says, in a positive family setting, spanking has been found to be positive predictor of outcome. Tenet even found that the children antecedents, I don't even know how to pronounce that, that were associated with non-use of illegal drugs who were being spanked to the child, attending church, and having a quote-unquote happy parental marriage. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Is that what you're referring to?
I'm not sure if that's exactly the one, if I'm being honest with you, Baby Bop. There was a few of them that I read on there, but they're, like I said, there's ones that go for it, some that go against it, some that were sort of smack dab in the middle. But
So it doesn't seem like you actually have evidence for this. You just kind of found a website with some shit on it, then it really read it.
no, I
read it and
found
sent it
a
over.
website with just like your
Okay,
website with sources.
could you tell us what these sources say?
Yeah, that spanking in a loving environment doesn't actually cause harm to the child.
What is harm?
What is harm?
Mm-hmm.
Harm. Hurting.
It didn't say that it didn't cause harm.
Spanking doesn't.
It did not say that.
Spanking in a loving
some of them
environment
did. I
doesn't hurt
actually
the
took
child.
notes.
Spanking in a loving environment doesn't hurt the child. Once again, this would just go back to this idea that, like, hitting someone hurts them. I mean, I don't see how we could disagree on this. It's like the point is to hurt them, is to cause them physical pain. And if that's not the point, then what is it?
That's your interpretation.
Then what's the point of hitting
someone?
Then what's the point of hitting someone?
You can hit someone for a shock factor as well.
What's the shock factor? What is that?
More so that they like instantly stop what they're doing.
Well, no. What is a shock factor? What is the shock factor in the context of spanking?
Like to be in shock, like to just suddenly like stop.
So how does spanking put a child in shock?
Like, maybe that's not the best way to describe it, but I would say like to stop somebody in their tracks, to like.
I know, but how does spanking stop a child in their tracks? Via what means?
Via what means? Let me think about that for a second. So via the means that so if you're about to touch a hot stove, you tap their hand, you've won.
Why does tapping their hand put them in shock?
Because they're looking at you like you've told them no, don't touch that. You've tapped their hand.
Why are they looking at you?
One, because you've engaged with them probably for the 5th time. If you've already pulled them away 3 or 4 times, and then
I don't know why you're running from this so fucking hard.
And then the 5th time,
this is pathetic. This is pathetic.
You tap them on the hand and you say no.
If you genuinely hold this view, dude, you wouldn't be running from this.
I do hold this view, but you tap them on the hand.
It's pain. No. It's fucking pain. All right.
And then
the active component is pain. That is what the shock value comes from. Be so fucking for real.
But it's
not. It is the pain.
No.
If it doesn't come, if the shock value doesn't come from the
cry.
pain, then if the shock, children cry when they get. If the shock value doesn't come from pain, then what does it come from?
More so, I think somebody like actually like more so pulling them away or like telling them no. And with
okay. So is spanking telling your kid no?
Combined with the tap on the hand and telling them no, I think the two combined.
So what does a shock value from tapping on them on the hand come from? What causes that shock value when you tap them on the hand? Why does tapping them on the hand cause that shock value?
I wouldn't say it's pain, but I mean, where you're coming from when you say.
Then what is it? If it's not pain, then what is it?
It would. That's tough because I almost agree with you that it would be pain, but it's not pain. Like,
if it's not pain, then what is it?
Because it's not pain because you're not hitting them hard enough to cause pain, but it is.
Then what is it?
I really can't tell you what it is because it's not. I get where you're coming from though. Like I 100% get where you're coming from, but it wouldn't be pain because you're not hitting them hard. Like,
Are you the one feeling it? Do you know that?
no, I don't know that.
So then you don't know that it's not causing pain.
So like if your mom came up to you and like taps you on the shoulder, are you gonna like you
Jamie,
see her, she's there.
Jamie, thank you for the $5 over Venmo.
She taps you on the shoulder. Are you gonna get shocked?
Sometimes I get
Is
shocked.
there-
My
is there-
husband
is there
shocks
shock
me
value?
all the time. So he's full of
No, that's not what I
electricity.
mean. That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. You see them, they come up to you, right? They just tap you on the hand, right? Does that shock you?
If he yelled at me with it, it would.
You're a psychopath.
Somebody yells at you and taps you at the same time, you're not going to be like, what's going on?
I don't. This is such a boring conversation because you simply have an issue with admitting when you're wrong. I don't care to talk to you anymore. Dean, if you want to continue the conversation,
You're
you
just
can, but
upset
you
that
can
I
kick
came
them.
with data and
You literally-
evidence
you quite
and with
literally didn't.
research.
You quite literally did. What?
You're just mad that I came with research and data, and now you're just saying my data isn't valid because
I wasn't even the one
have
debating
it.
you. What?
She ate.
Like-
I'm just kidding. She did not eat. She did not eat. Yeah, I mean, well, you said that your data shows that spanking doesn't cause harm. Then I asked you what harm was. Then I asked you how spanking wouldn't cause this, and then like it just fucking know.
I never said I didn't know. I
Yes,
just said
you
that I
literally
don't
told
think
me
it
that you
causes
don't know
pain.
what would cause the shock value in the context of tapping your kid on the hand. Bro, you gotta log off, not gonna lie. You gotta like deactivate.
I'm done.
Like you gotta deactivate, not gonna lie, double trouble.
I'm done speaking to you.
Yeah, you gotta deactivate, man. Not gonna
Excuse me,
lie.
Dad. I do have a question. though.
This is bordering
I have
on
a
the
legit
pathetic.
question that does not relate to any of this, but thank you. Do you actually have DID, or is that something you just troll about?
Why the fuck would I troll about that?
What the
Well,
fuck?
no, I'm asking because.
Yeah, do you
my
actually have a
sister
brain,
has
or is that
it.
something that you just troll
No,
about?
my sister has
Right.
it, and
Do you actually have firing neurons,
no,
or is this just
because
something you
3
troll
days
about?
ago she was
Do you
saying
actually have
she
the ability
had
to
it, and I
abstractly
thought she
think
was
and come to
trolling about
justified
it, and
beliefs?
I
Think of
was
it a lucid llama,
Troll
Leanne.
about.
And I was
Why the fuck
offended
would I be
about
trolling?
it, so I wanted to ask her if she actually had it because my sister has it, and I thought she was trolling about it. So I wanted to ask her if she actually had it because the way you said it, I thought you were trolling, and I was offended.
What
so
did I say that would ever make you think I was trolling? I literally did an entire live.
The other day when you said it, you literally just said it in literally in passing, like haha, and you were joking about it. So I didn't know what to take you seriously or not. So I wanted to ask you.
What am I supposed to do? Cry? Am I supposed to cry?
No, you're not. I that's why I wanted to ask you in person. Like I didn't know, so I
my
wanted to ask you a
God.
legit question. Like I'm not trying to be offensive. I just wanted to know because my sister has it, and it's something that is very close to my heart. So I wanted to know if that was something you really had. It's something that's very close to me. So I wasn't trying to be offensive. I was legit trying to ask you.
Well, I do. I'm formally diagnosed. Okay, but like,
no, that's no.
my DID is the least eventful part of my life. I'm gonna joke about it. I'm gonna make fun of it.
Well, no,
I'm,
and that's
You're completely
and I get
within
to
your right
fucking
to
do that.
well, you
You're completely within
absolutely
your right to do
do.
that.
You absolutely.
Hey, double trouble.
do.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you actually have an IQ over 15, or is that something that you're trolling about?
No, actually, I have a very high IQ. I'm actually an account manager for Microsoft. So.
Sorry, I was making sure. Like, I didn't know if you were serious. I didn't know if you were serious.
Okay, well,
I didn't know if you're serious.
A lot of stuff on here,
I was just
and
ma-
it's not
fuck,
an
I was just
offensive
making
question
sure
to
that-
ask when you don't
Didn't
know
know.
something.
Didn't know that
It's
if you were
better to
serious.
ask Dean.
Fuck, I'm so sorry.
Hey, Dean, it's better to ask somebody when you don't know.
Yeah, I know. I just had asked.
It's
you
not
if you actually had an
offensive to
IQ over
ask
Kelvin
somebody
Rosen.
when you don't know. It's better to ask them.
Oh, yes, it absolutely is offensive.
No, it's not. It's
It is-
better to ask
It is
somebody, Dean.
absolutely offensive.
No,
to
it's
ask shit
not.
like
It's
that.
better
and
to
you are
ask
nowhere
somebody.
within your rights. You are nowhere within your rights.
Actually,
to
I
ask a
am
question
within my
like that.
rights. She wants to be a
Absolutely
public
fucking
figure.
not. You are absolutely not within your rights to say shit like that, and I'm about to explain why. Right? Because the reason that there has been such stigmas surrounding different forms of mental illness is because of people's invalidation of them. right? People invalidate forms of mental illness and stigmatize them to seem wrong or bad. And what this leads to is less people getting diagnosed for mental illness, which makes their quality of life worse. And then those who are diagnosed with mental illness, right, they have this stigma associated with them that it's somehow wrong, right? And this is all caused by the invalidation of them. And when you come up here and you ask, oh, are you invalid or are you serious? Like, be so fucking for real. You are inherently Ashika and her DID with such stupid comments, dude. And like, this is the comment. Like who the fuck are you to be saying?
I can't believe you would say that. I can't believe you would even ask me that. I need to go get one of my alters to deal with these feelings because I don't know if I'll be able to, Dan.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god, chat, I'm gonna split. I'm gonna split, chat. Like, get on my face.
Like, dude, just replace DID with any other attribute of.
Do you actually have cancer, or do you, like, what the?
Do you actually have cancer, or are you trolling? Like, dude. Like,
I
actually have...
like, yeah, are you like, how about you replace it with someone's ethnicity, right? Are you actually this ethnicity, or are you trolling?
Actually, I have colon cancer.
Dude, replace it with someone's race. Are you actually this race, or are you trolling? Be so fucking for real.
Yeah, but like that's a fucked up question to ask, and you thinking that you're like entitled to it because your sister has it, is weird. Is weird.
That's not why I'm entitled to ask. I'm entitled to ask because one, you joke about it, just like you just did. Two, because you're public, you there. So I don't know if you have it for real or not. So you want to make yourself a public figure and be out here and joke about it. People don't know whether to take you serious or not. So when my sister has it and I think you're being offensive about it, I'm going to ask you because I'm going to come at you if you...
I'm being offensive about my own fucking condition? Are you dead ass?
That's what I'm saying.
I am being offensive about my own condition.
I don't know if it's your condition. I don't know if it's your fucking condition or not.
Even if I told you that I wasn't faking right now, you'd have no idea. You would still, right now, you have no idea of actually knowing these things unless you okay?
Yeah.
You would still have to take my fucking word for it. There's no logical reason why you would need to ask this question here.
You know, Double Trouble, I want to ask you a question. No, this so I have a question for you, right? So yesterday, one of my longtime friends died from brain cancer. It was incredibly sad. Fucking hell.
I'm so sorry, Dean.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. I don't really want to talk about it on live, but I thought I'd bring it up for this reason. So one of my longtime friends died from brain cancer yesterday, right? And like, how would you feel, right, if someone walked up to my longtime friend that died from brain cancer 2 days before he died, right, about his brain cancer, because he was an incredibly funny guy, and asked him, are you trolling about your brain cancer? Do you actually have brain cancer? Are you serious? Do you think that would be like okay to ask him?
I'll tell you right
Bro,
now.
get the fuck out of here. I'm banning everyone in chat. One second. One second. I'm so sorry. This is why I don't bring this shit up on live. Wait, shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Oh my god. I'm about to get banned. I'm about to get banned. If you don't shut the fuck up right now, I'm about to get banned. My account is about to get fucking banned if you don't shut up. Like, unironically, if you don't shut the fuck up and say that you think you're in your rights, right, to say, oh, this guy actually doesn't have brain cancer. Oh my, I'm about to get banned. I'm about to get banned if you respectfully don't leave.
I never said he didn't have
boundaries.
That's so inappropriate. That's absolutely.
But you're talking about how you yourself have had it.
Oh, I'm about to get banned.
I said, I'll show you my papers. I have colon cancer, you fucking bitch.
That does not validate you saying that shit to someone. That is the point.
I said if somebody's joking about cancer, I'm gonna have something to say about it.
A fundamental misunderstanding of boundaries. You seem to not understand how people cope with their own shits. Just because you like to huddle your...
If somebody's
just because you like
cancer,
to shut your mouth, shut your mouth, shut your mouth.
Nah, girl.
Shut your mouth.
Nah.
You can't assume that someone is joking about cancer. Like this is the problem. Yeah, if someone is joking about cancer, yeah, that's fucked up, right? But you can't look at someone that is saying they have cancer and be like, do you actually have cancer?
Well, like, here's my thing, though. This is such a huge fucking stigma, right? Because what the fuck are people like this to do, right? Are we supposed to be huddled up in a fucking corner, crying all day? Is that what we're supposed to do? Is that what we're supposed to look like to you? For you to believe that we have the things that we say that we have? What am I supposed to look like? What is having DID supposed to look like? What is having a terminal illness supposed to look like? How are you supposed to act? Fucking crickets. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Nah, I'm saying if somebody's making fun of cancer, I have every right. The chemo, I can fucking do it.
You are the most entitled. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, you are disgusting.
When you've gone through chemo, you can
Gross.
fucking do what you want.
That has nothing to do with how you treat other people.
I'm telling you, if you're standing there making fun of somebody with cancer, I'm gonna have everything to say about it. I'm not gonna.
Everything that I've ever said has been about myself.
Whoa, yeah, dude. Yeah, no, see, now you're starting to recognize how inappropriate your comments were. So you have to like shift the goalpost. You're making fun of someone else with cancer. Bro, right? The thing in question here is Tashika saying she has DID, right? And taking it very lightheartedly, right? Are you fucking kidding me? You just shifted the goalpost so incredibly hard.
Be so fucking for real. Every joke that I've ever made about DID has been me, my alters.
Actually, it wasn't. If I'm being honest, it wasn't, and that's why I asked you.
Name one time on other systems. Name one time.
Actually, 2 days ago, like I said, and that's why I asked.
What did
you.
I say? What did I say?
I don't
What did I
remember
say?
exactly, but I found it offensive.
Oh, you don't remember what I
But
said,
found
but
it
you know that I
offensive
talked about someone else?
because it relates to me.
Really?
personally.
Really? You just came up here and lied.
No.
You came up here and fucking
Go back
lied.
to your live and watch it.
You
2
came
days
up here
ago.
and lied.
2 days
Thank
ago.
you for
Go watch
being
it.
my number 2 gifter, first of all, but also you're gross.
Go watch
okay?
your own live and watch what you said.
Why would I ever say anything about another system?
You didn't talk about somebody else. You were literally just talking about other people. That's not what I'm saying.
I was talking about my DID.
Maddie, thank you for the $5 over Venmo.
My DID. You can't talk about someone else's DID. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm not saying you were talking about other people. That's not what I'm saying.
Like, I'm about to have one of my alters come out and really tell you what time of deal.
Anyway,
Like,
I literally asked you a question. I'm sorry if I offended you.
Yeah, admit that your question was disrespectful. Be
And I'm
grown up.
sorry if I...
How about you? Yeah.
Admit that your question was disrespectful.
No,
or
Hit me if you want. I didn't mean to be disrespectful. Hence,
yeah, I didn't mean to be disrespectful. So do you understand that your comment was disrespectful? Do you understand that your comment is perpetuating these social ideologies that associate some form of like stigma with mental illness by invalidating them?
Just because someone is not fucking crying all the time and bitching and moaning about their condition doesn't mean they don't have the condition. Some people don't have time to be crying all the time.
Right, like impact over intent. Like it's the impact that matters, not the intent, right?
and do you understand even for a second that it impacts me personally, and you trolling and joking about
me talking about my condition impacts
and
you
that's
personally.
why I asked you if you actually. I didn't know if
Are
you were just
how does this impact you personally?
because I lived with it my whole life. My sister literally.
Oh, no, dude, are you so for real? No, this is like some cis mom tokenizing their trans kid. Oh my god, I lived with it my whole life. Bro, this is like a white lady marrying a black man and then claiming
My babies are black.
and then yeah, claim, or someone with black children claiming culture. Like, dude, come on, be so fucking for real.
Don't
You
fucking
have
claim
DID.
your sister's DID for yourself. You don't experience that shit. Like, get out of my face, dude. That's so fucking rude. Like, you do not. You lived with what? With what? What did you live with? Huh? Because my entire I have 7 fucking siblings. I have 7 siblings. I have had DID. You have DID since you're like 5 years old, right? You have it. You're pretty much your whole life. No one else fucking knew. What the fuck were they living with, huh? What were my siblings living with? No, I was living with it. I was living with it, and it's still not your fucking suffering.
Yeah, it's giving me. No, this is what it's giving me. I have black friends, and you're being incredibly disrespectful to the African American community right now. That's what they do. That's what it is fucking giving. Oh yeah, claiming that somehow someone with black friends is personally impacted by racism. Saying since you have black friends, right, you experience
Dean, you
the
put that
oppressive
every
hand
day.
of the white man. Dude, be so fucking for real. This is
Dean,
so goofy. This is so fucking goofy. Oh my god.
I just think you have a really big issue. I think you have a really big issue with like acknowledging when you're wrong, and that's like a big part of like growing up as an adult is to acknowledge when you are wrong and start changing toxic behaviors that you have. Like I know it's really hard, but like would your DID sister, right? Agree with you saying this kind of shit to someone?
She has her own TikTok. She's on here.
Would she agree with you saying this in her name, questioning other people's illnesses in her name?
Get your sister up here. You said she has TikTok.
This would be acceptable.
How you are personally impacted by DID. Let's see if she agrees with your statements about how you are personally impacted by the DID. Would you recognize, right, the analogy made by saying that you're personally impacted by DID since you have a sister with it, and then someone with black friends, a white person with black friends, saying that they're personally impacted by the oppressive hand of the white man since they have black friends? Do you recognize that analogy?
But my thing is, it's not even that, Dean, because the thing about DID is the fact that no one is supposed to fucking know. You're not supposed to know you have DID, and especially other people outside of you are not supposed to know you have DID. So I really need to know what the fuck exactly did you go through with your sister who has DID? Because there is no way you would have known. I got flagged for harassment. There's no way you would have known. There's no way you would have known.
Okay, we all knew. And
unless, right? Unless your sister was diagnosed, right? And she became open with her internal experience, with their experiences, you are now tokenizing her pain in order to perpetuate this fuck ass stigma.
No, she was.
Because what am I supposed to look like? How am I supposed to behave? But you don't know you have DID until you get diagnosed like that. You don't. Chill out. Okay.
What the fuck do you know about DID?
I know a lot about DID, and she was diagnosed very young.
Yeah, what you know about it?
My sister.
You cannot. That's fucking. You're lying. You're fuck. What age did you get diagnosed?
Very young.
What age? What age? What age?
Pardon me. What age?
What age is she? Yeah.
She was 12.
You're a fucking liar. You're a liar. How dare you? What the fuck is your problem? You do not get diagnosed at 12.
Yeah, she did.
Are you crazy?
Go to her page.
Are you fucking crazy?
Are you crazy?
You're a liar.
No,
you're
I'm
fucking
not.
lying.
No, I'm not. My sister, and she was diagnosed with BPD too.
BPD?
Yeah, you're gonna tell me she didn't get diagnosed with that at 12 too?
You can get diagnosed with BPD at 12, dude.
Yeah, and she was also diagnosed.
You do
with
not
DID.
get diagnosed with DID. It's how. Do you know how hard that is? Do you know how hard it is? Diagnosed with one of the rarest disorders, one of the most stigmatized disorders at 12.
For 12 years, they thought
you have to be 18.
Schizophrenia. For 12 years, she was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
For 12, so since she was a baby, she was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Well,
She was diagnosed with schizophrenia when she popped out the womb.
Well,
no, what the fuck? You're lying. You're fucking lying.
Yeah, those NICU nurses went, yeah, this one
until
has
the age of
schizophrenia.
12.
Those NICU nurses said, yeah, this one has schizophrenia.
Until the age of 12. I'm sorry. Yes, she was diagnosed with schizophrenia until then, and then they changed her diagnosis. And yes, she was 12, baby Bob. And you can call me a liar if you want. That is the truth. And look it up. You can be diagnosed a lot.
I want want to know who the fuck you went to, because that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. All right?
Actually, I can tell you the exact hospital that did it.
I don't want to care. I don't care.
You don't want to care because you know you're wrong this time. It's Laurentian Hospital in Ontario,
It's not even
Canada.
that. It is just extremely hard, but it's fine. I can grant you that. Even still, all of the issues that she dealt with is on her fucking own, and you're just tokenizing her trauma. Because
Not
first of all,
tokenizing her
people don't get DID
I'm
for
just
no reason.
You
had in order to
You know
in order
what?
to get
You know
in order
what?
to get
She didn't
DID.
get
I'm gonna tell you.
for no
I'm gonna
reason.
tell you something.
We all had lots of
Exactly.
trauma in our lives.
Exactly, and I know. Stop tokenizing your fucking sister's disorder. Stop it.
Yeah, now what you're doing is now now you're saying that you also have trauma in your life, so you understand what it's like to have DID.
I never said I
Bro,
understood what it's like
the
to have
fuck?
Why did that come out of my mouth, Dean?
Yeah, but yeah, it was implied.
said
when
I
you said we all have
understood it was
trauma in
from
our
trauma.
lives. We all have trauma.
I said
We all
I
have
understood
trauma.
it was from trauma. Open your ears, Dean. You're not the smartest boy on the block.
How many continents are there?
7. Shut up.
Can you name them?
You're so annoying.
Can you name them? Can you name them?
Thank you for the crystal shoe. Like my thing is like it's just
She
so,
can't name them.
Yeah,
She
whatever.
actually can't name them.
It's just so incredibly rare for someone to get diagnosed that early, right? You can have onset of symptoms very young, because like when I was in middle school around 12 years old, that's when my that's when my symptoms started to show. But a full-on diagnosis at 12 is impressive.
She only got that diagnosis because she was schizophrenic or diagnosed schizophrenic up until she was 12. They changed that diagnosis.
I would like for you to stop telling you. It seems like you don't know what boundaries are. You don't know what boundaries are. You're up here telling her fucking business. Like,
You just
do you even
literally-
see her as a full human being?
You literally just asked the question, right?
And you're telling us her fucking business. Like, what the fuck? Like, am I tweaking?
She proudly tells her own business.
Probably.
Yeah, dude, you're literally up here sharing, right, your sister's medical records, right, to 2.4 thousand people. What the fuck are
Out of
you
pocket.
doing?
And you're gonna and this is because of what? You're able to do this. What was the reason that you're able to do this to someone?
Yeah, why are you airing out your sister's business, her medical records, in which it is quite illegal, right, for these institutions of medicine to share, right? This is why like certain legislation would exist stopping this, and then you're just telling this to like 2.4 thousand people. If a medical health practitioner, if one of her medical health practitioners did this,
It's
it'd be
on
a HIPAA
her TikTok,
violation,
so
they'd
it's not like I'm violating.
One second. If a medical health practitioner did this, HIPAA violation, their license removed, and they may even get a fine, or jail time. But somehow, when her sister does this, it's completely fine.
Go read her TikTok. It's all there.
Go read her TikTok. It's all there. Keyword her TikTok. Keyword her TikTok.
Giving information that she gives. We don't even know if all of the information that you've given here is information that she's already given on her TikTok.
Did she leave or did she get banned?
And even still not your business. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's annoying. Just to be real, getting diagnosed at like 12 years old is like so rare. It's so fucking rare. I want to know that story. But yeah, that was a lot. I don't like people who don't have boundaries, especially fucking. I don't get it. That shit just actually pissed me off. Hi, how old are you?
How are you? Sorry.
All right. So do you think that spanking is abuse?
So I think that spanking should be, it shouldn't be a situation. But I do
Nico, thank you for the $5
feel
over
like
Venmo.
some kids, I work in the school system, and some kids are just like, they really don't listen.
You think that it's do you think it's abuse, or do you think it's not abuse?
I feel like it depends on what it is. So like for me, if plucking, I feel like that's a little bit of a if you go like actually hit or using a belt, any type of weapon, absolutely not. That's abuse right there. But if I feel like it's a little pluck, I know some people. I've been pinched before when I was younger. You know, I've been plucked. I wasn't actually I don't consider myself actually being spanked. I wasn't really hit with a belt. I wasn't really pow-powed, you know. Yeah,
what is abuse?
I feel like this is that inflicts real big harm. Well, no, anything that inflicts harm, and it's over a course of continuous time. Like it's a continuous thing. Like you continuously keep on doing it.
And so, how would plucking or pinching not dictate as abuse?
What is pluck? What does it mean to pluck?
To pluck? Yeah,
Pluck.
like what she's doing.
You go like that. You never plucked anyone before, Dean?
Isn't that flicking someone?
Go like
Yeah,
this.
like
It's called a pluck or a flick.
Yeah, I call it a pluck too.
Yeah, why the fuck are we flicking kids?
That's the Dean.
Listen,
I don't know if I'd call this abuse, but why are we doing this?
So for example, right, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do one for right now because I have a daughter myself right now. She's 4, right? And so I did catch myself, and I was like, okay, maybe I did a little bit rush, but it was a flick, right? And so we're walking up. This lady and her daughter comes out of the bus, and my daughter randomly just walks past this little girl and slaps her in her face, right? I'm like, what?
Thank you, Nico, for the $5. Thank you.
Sorry. But yeah, she slaps her in the face, low key, right? Puts her hand out, and I'm like, whoa, that's a shock to me. But then I'm like, no, don't do that. I flicked her on her forehead, right? And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you laugh. I said, no, now go say sorry. And then afterwards, I explained to her, you don't go ahead and just randomly hit somebody where it's oh, okay, you don't know this girl. You could have said hi. You could have did anything. Hello, my name is Desi. You didn't have to go ahead and just randomly hey, Facebook.
Bro, why would you do that? My bigger question is why the fuck did you flick a kid on their forehead?
Because one,
are you a teacher?
No, I'm a paraprofessional, but it's my daughter do that to any other kid.
Oh, you flicked your daughter on the forehead?
My daughter, yeah.
Yeah, don't you think there's better ways to handle this than flicking her on her forehead?
There are certain times where I'll talk to her, but then there are certain times where it's okay, if this is a repeated behavior as well, and then sometimes I do get, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do just react. It's one of those things where it's oh, okay, it's a reaction, and sometimes I do have to catch myself when it comes to that, because for me, I could recognize it's a childhood thing with myself. I've always, when my mom was here, when I was growing up, she would go ahead and flick, and that would be the only type of discipline I would get,
Bro,
and
it's just you're just normalizing the use of violence with kids. It's I don't know, flicking a kid doesn't sound super abusive. I'm not gonna lie, right? But what it does is it normalizes, right, the use of violence against children, right? Instead of being a good parent, you decided to opt for the lazy way out, right? You apologized to the other kid, grabbed her by the arm, put her in the car, drove her home, and told her what she did wrong, put her in timeout, taken some of her, some of her toys away, or another form of discipline which would be more effective.
Right.
But due to the lack of your impulse control, you normalized violence by hitting her, which probably didn't do much, in all honesty.
So the only thing I want to go ahead and address with that is that when it comes to parenting, it's a little, well, Dean, question, do you have kids yourself? No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, it's not a very good, a very crisp cut line of good parenting
Of course.
and bad parenting.
Me and my 17 baby mamas definitely understand this, yes.
All right. That's a lot of child support, boo.
Don't worry, I have fat pockets.
Period. Okay, go ahead, get to the bag. Okay, so yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, the majority of the time, it's a situation where I would go ahead and talk. Right now, that I could go ahead and be like, okay, cool, because afterwards I was like, okay, I probably just did too much. I just reacted real quick, didn't even think about it, because afterwards, you get that little guilt after. I'm not gonna lie. When you go ahead and even with a flick, it's not that abusive, but even with that flick, I don't like seeing my little baby go ahead and do that little pout, little with her lip and stuff like that. It's not nothing like that. Like I'd be like, oh, my little boo boo, and then it's like, okay, cool. But do I feel like that's spanking or that is abuse? I don't feel like it's abuse, but I do feel like you need to clock it, pick it, clock it. Don't be doing that too much. Like for me, I try to go ahead and talk to my daughter majority of the time. Sometimes it's a little bit a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a single mother. So it's a little bit of a situation where I have to be the person who disciplines, and I also have to be the person who also nurtures. So it's a little bit of a situation where I do have to go ahead and decipher, but I think that flicking is not abuse, but I do feel like if you're doing a palm hand, yeah. If you're doing a situation where you're beating them with a belt, absolutely yes. If you even with the wire, the things, et cetera, I grew up in a household where I've seen the difference because my brother, I'm not gonna lie, my brother, he probably got his ass whooped a couple of times. Me, I saw how my brother act that way because I saw the consequences on that. But it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, sometimes I think as people in general, I'm sorry, y'all. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No. Wake up, y'all. Bye. Hello. Mayday. Everybody in here. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't mean to bore y'all. I wasn't even expecting y'all to accept my lie.
We're not talking about flicking. We're talking about spanking, and I think what we got from that is that you think spanking's abuse, but you don't think flicking's abuse. My response is I agree, but flicking's still kind of weird, and it normalizes putting your hands on other people.
I can see where you're coming from. I can see where you would say that.
That's where you coming from.
This is where you coming from.
This is where you came from.
You're coming from.
We looking where you came down the trail. We looking down the trail. That's where you came from.
Because I'm looking at it as if I was as me being go ahead and report somebody like child services if I saw a mother.
I feel like kids used to do that to me. I feel like I used to get flicked by other kids.
No, I used to flick my niece, but then she asked me to stop, and I felt bad, so I stopped doing it.
That's just it's just like it ain't abuse, but
it was just like it's just to piss him off,
Yeah, what the
I'm
fuck
dead.
you
Not
doing?
to just piss him off. Okay.
But now she
What are you
can.
doing?
Now she can whoop my ass for. She got heavy hands.
Oh shoot! See, I would not be flicking her if I was you.
Like I feel like if I walked up to some random dude on the street, right, and that's gonna start a fight. I'm gonna get the cops called on me and shit. But if I walk up to some random dude on the street and flick him, I feel like I just get looked at really weirdly.
No, you would.
That'd be kind of.
I just kind of look over at me
just look him straight in the eyes and do it.
I think somebody would literally look at you and be like, "Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Why
What's
would
your
you do
problem,
that?
man? He'll probably jump at you. You know what I mean? But nothing more.
That's just awkward, bro.
It is.
I want to the flea. Oh.
I see just something to add on here because I bet we're about to move on to our next guest because I don't think that you don't necessarily disagree with us. I think that there's just so much better and more effective forms of punishment and discipline, but where I think this efficacy factor of discipline comes in.
No!
Oh no! What happened? Are you? Oh no!
He done got
Parker got
Parker's
banana.
gone. Damn it!
Damn, y'all,
Damn!
Ethereum is shooting up right now. I
Shut
should
the
have bought some more
fuck
Ethereum.
up, Dean. Damn it. No one cares about your fake internet money.
No,
Anyway.
Bro,
it's not fake. I'm gonna tell you right now.
I'm gonna tell my brother though.
it's gained like 6% in the last 24 hours, bro. I need to get in that shit.
My brother does this.
I
I'm
need
gonna
to-
tell
I
him.
need to
He
dip
probably
my
already knows,
toes.
to be honest.
I need to dip my toes, dude.
Dip your skinny toes in. Put the pinky
Well,
in
the
first.
stock market, the cryptocurrency market, it's all
So-
going up right now.
Don't bore the audience, Dean. Please.
But I just had a question for y'all though. What would y'all feel like out of that whole little situation? Other than I heard Dean, but I wanted to see Baby Bob. What would be your suggestion on how to make the situation a little bit better?
When your daughter mollywopped a random kid,
Yeah.
I would first apologize to the children and the
Yeah, I
parent,
did
and then
immediately.
and then like remove your child from the premises. Try to find out why they. Wait, how old are they though?
She's 4. She's about to be 5.
Can she communicate?
Yeah.
Right.
Bro, I'm gonna put like 5K in.
I need
Ethereum
you
right
to
now.
stop talking, Dean. Okay, so anyway, what I'm about to do, you know what, I'm not gonna, never mind. Anyway, so I would remove the child from the premises and try to find out why they felt the need to do that. Because like exploding out into random acts of violence is questionable
Right.
within a child. So I would try to find out why they did that, but I wouldn't hit them. I don't think flicking them is going to teach them anything. I don't think imposing violence on them is going to teach them not to be violent. You know.
No, I definitely understand where it's like okay, I hit you because I love you. Yeah, no, I understand where y'all get that. It's given that.
Chat, Dean, do I need to start investing? Why is he mewing? Like, look at him.
No,
Just, oh my God.
but he's probably really serious. Ethereum be over here shooting. I know what he talk about. Listen, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all that. Listen, get you in some stocks.
Don't. Bitcoin is trash.
Okay.
Anyway. But yeah, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, beautiful. Thank you for letting me on. I was not expecting y'all to even let me go ahead and be up on here. So I appreciate y'all. Listen, y'all have a blessed day. Thank you for letting me go ahead and you know what? Y'all blessed my presence. Thank you.
You know what? W stonks in the chat, yo. W stonks.
Bro, dude, it's gone up 42% in the last month.
Oh, in the last month?
Yeah. Like,
Hi, friend.
damn.
That's kind of
So coming off like a year and a half low as well.
Yeah.
Hey, do you think that spanking's abuse?
I'm up here.
How old are you?
19.
19. What year were you born in?
2004. Wait, give me a second. I have to fall the toilet.
This is your kind, Dean. You got that.
This is my dude. Oh my God. All right. First of all, your profile picture is incredibly unsettling.
Was that just feet? What was I looking at there? Did you remove them? Or did they leave? Oh. Give it a second. Yeah, remember, if you are in the guest request, we are just looking for people who think that spanking is not abuse. Hi, how old are you?
I'm
Do you think that spanking is abuse?
Spanking is definitely not abuse.
Oh, wow!
Not at all.
That's not what I thought that was, Dean. That's not what I thought that was.
So why do you? So yeah, what do you define like physical, physical abuse as like the unjustified hitting of an individual?
What I would consider abuse would be hitting someone for like no reason, like no justifiable reason. However, if
No justifiable reason.
a child is acting out of line and needs their ass whipped, then by all means they would get a spanking.
Okay, so yeah, you would agree with me, and I think that spanking's unjustified because I think that ass whooping is doing nothing but causing them negative psychological problems in the long term and giving them worse behavioral issues. It's not teaching them anything real. It's not teaching them that actions have consequences. It's just giving them trauma. It's just giving them trauma and making their behavior worse.
I disagree.
Right, and we have. Oh, you disagree with a fact? I'm so sorry. Do you want some studies on this? Do you want some statistics? Would you be able to give me any competing statistics that would
having
disprove
people
these?
join the live if you're just going to say facts and this is not all opinions? You know what I'm saying? Because
It's not all opinions. Are you crazy? This is a debate live. It says that when you come in here. Be for real.
Baby girl, this is my first time hopping on y'all live, so
it's the first time reading too, apparently, because
not too much. Look at that wig. Look at that wig, sis. Not too much.
Wait, what's wrong with the wig? No, don't. You're not gonna come up here and fucking lie. Don't come up here and lie. Don't come up here and fucking lie. Don't. You tried it though. You really tried it though. You really tried it though.
Bro,
you really
this
fucking
is a
tried
fucking
it though.
reality TV show. This is a reality
tried
TV
it
show.
though.
This is a reality TV
No,
show.
Dean,
chat.
this is a black woman endeavor. Shut your fucking mouth.
I gotta
You tried it where? What's wrong with the wig? Go ahead, critique it right now. Critique the wig. Critique the wig. I need a what?
A hot comb.
A hot comb?
Yeah.
What's wrong with the wig?
I just said
she's flowing. She has body. It's giving. Where? Where is it giving? No. We're not. Doing
that's
this.
why you need.
We're not doing. You came in here. You came in here to lie.
I didn't lie.
If you're gonna talk shit. If you're gonna talk shit, at least be accurate. Where the fuck is the helmet at? Where is the helmet at? Huh?
On your head.
Where's the helmet? Where's the helmet?
On your head.
You came up here to lie.
On the head.
You came up here to lying. You're lying. You tried it though.
Someone in the chat just said
tried it,
Dean
though.
minding his white man business.
You tried it though. You tried it though. You tried. Good job though. Thank you for calling attention to how fucking gorgeous I am. But anyway,
you need braces.
Make an argument. You tried it though. There was an attempt. There was indeed an attempt, and I commend you for.
You gonna put the green screen back on?
Yeah, that's where the background is. Yeah.
All right, so back to like I was saying.
Matter of fact, turn your fucking camera on right now. Do it.
Not too much, baby girl.
Turn the camera on. Turn the camera on. I'm joking. I don't actually give a shit. But yeah, can you make an actual argument?
Do you? You have a wig on?
Yeah. Dean, did you think this was my hair? W's in the shots. That's a win.
Listen.
Dean nor Parker knew that I wore wigs.
Listen, I'm a debater. Listen, I debate social
Dean,
problems.
fucking W.
Yeah,
this is why I date. This is why I date white men. They don't know how it's supposed to
Let me
work.
leave this.
This is why. Let me tell you something.
It
Let me say that. Loose.
I know.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. Thank you so much, Shannon, for the $5 over Cash App. But let me tell you something. I like my crooked teeth, but that's besides the point. Let me tell you something. You're mad because the Cantu hasn't worked for you in the past 5 years. That's what's going on right now, okay? You're mad, all right, because you couldn't afford mixed chicks. You're mad because you couldn't afford Nairobi, okay? You're mad because your hair gel crusts up in your hair. It's fine, I understand. I understand.
Baby girl,
okay.
I wigs too.
I understand.
Together.
I understand. Okay, I understand. It's hard. It's hard for us out here. Okay. I understand. I understand the creams make your hair look like.
Yeah, get into it. Get into it.
Dean.
Dean. Let me not. Get into it, Dean.
No, because why would you come up here? Why would you come up here and do this? Huh? Why would you come up here and do that? I got soft wigs and a soft line. Don't chat right now.
Listen, I'm just a white man minding my business.
You have a synthetic wig on. That is plastic.
I'm allergic to human hair. Okay?
You're allergic to your hair on your head, baby? You're allergic to human hair?
No, I'm allergic to.
You're a broke bitch. What are you talking about? You have no money. That's why you keep getting synthetic wig.
I think I hurt her feelings.
How did the
Dean.
conversation even get to this?
I think I really got her. I think I really got her with the Cantu joke. I think I really got her with the Cantu joke.
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know.
It's a black hair product. I think I really got her. I think I got her. I think I got her with the crusty creams.
So how about that? Yeah,
Ooh.
get into it.
Well, I don't even know what Cantu is.
She said she can't use mixed chicks. That costs too much money. Like,
Mixed
come on,
chicks
girl.
isn't good for your hair, boo boo. Right, that's why you have a synthetic
Come on,
wig
girl.
on, because someone is allergic to real hair. What the fuck? Who's allergic to human hair?
No,
Yo,
that
bro,
hair gets
dirty
treated
dick.
with Do you know what they treat in Spot and hives? I can't do it. Are you angry?
No, I want to get back to
Did I get
spanking.
you? Did I get you and your friend with that one? Does your hair gel make your hair crusty? You can tell me. It's okay. Do you have to slick your hair back in parts? Is that okay?
You said it yourself. You can't even.
And it looks better than your human hair. I'm confused. I'm confused.
Now you're mad.
Lace wear right the fuck there. I'm confused. I'm confused.
No, put the lighting back on it. Why you take the light off?
I think we just got a blackout in my neighborhood.
Oh yeah. Cause you're broke.
Wait, what does that have to do with my money? Actually, wait, no.
The state's money.
Oh wait, no, I just unplugged all.
Yeah.
Dean!
You know what, Dean?
Dean! Oh,
done, Dean. You're done.
You're done. You're canceled, Dean. You can't be doing that. You can't make these kinds of jokes, Dean.
Not
you can't make
on Black History
Dean.
Month.
During Black History Month, Dean.
Right.
Dean, no. This was a dispute amongst black women. What are you doing? Oh my God, he's done. He's fucking done, chat. Dean's fucking done. Look at him. He's not the white man during Black History Month, Dean. You have to let us fight amongst each other.
Right.
Okay?
One-on-one here, Dean.
Come on now, Dean. What the fuck?
You get out here and see the way all the way out.
I told you to sit the fuck down, Dean.
All right, but back to spanking. What we came here for.
I mean, you started coming at the wig first. I had to put it.
No, you started it. I ain't want.
I didn't even say nothing to you.
I didn't
even say nothing to you.
You started it.
You said the wig was stiff. You came at the brand new wig.
Pack.
It's not fresh out the pack. It's like 2 days out the pack.
That's still fresh enough.
And it eats though. It eats more than your fuck ass human hair.
Be for real. Be so for real.
I'm being so serious.
You look gray.
You
look very gray. You need to put
I look
some
gray?
setting spray on. Give me some more color.
Some setting spray?
Maybe some blonde.
Can you even afford my setting spray?
Yeah, come on now.
It sounds like you're shopping at Nick's. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. The She Glam makeup is eating, isn't it? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Another white man would like to debate with us once we get back to the debates. Would you be okay with another white man?
Which one? Which one, Dean?
The white man.
Yes, on Dean. Right now.
I'm literally banned on everything. This is my only
Yeah, I
account
know.
right now. I banned.
Yeah,
I
you're
got
fucked,
Matt's
dude.
account banned. I got.
Oh, did you see that,
all my
Dean?
accounts? They're all gone.
He got Matt's account banned.
Permanent, or actually no, it
Poor
wasn't permanently,
thing.
but
Not per. It was for a week.
bro. It's actually crazy.
And it didn't get appealed yet,
No,
did it?
and neither is my third
Damn.
account right now. And I'll do the button here too. I appreciate the hand arts.
Anyway, the viewer count went up when you came in here, Parker. It's okay. If I cared about viewers, I wouldn't be doing this. But anyway, the girl that tried to play me and failed miserably. You wanna try again?
Bro, Barker, I think I'm canceled.
What'd you
Oh,
do,
you're
Dean?
fucked, Dean. You're done. Wait, all someone had to do was screenshot that. You're fucked. Cause what was funny about the photo, Dean? Dissect it right now. Yeah! You're racist! Anyway,
I'm not racist.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Lauren, you want to try that shit again, huh? So let me tell you what happened. Let me say what had happened, Parker. So this heifer trying to come up here, speaking right. I didn't even say nothing to her. I didn't know what the fuck went on. Right? She gonna start talking about the wig, and I'm gonna do it the fuck again. No, because we gonna do it the fuck again. All right. We's gonna do it the fuck again. We gonna get into it one last time. She tries to come out the fucking hair. Okay. And we're not going to talk about the hair. It looks better than yours. Let's be for real. Lace wear. I saw your lace. It was right there, right? So I'm confused.
You do a lot. That's how you know you're.
I'm confused. Do you see it? Do you see it? You know, because like we're not gonna. Yeah. Oh, now it looks good because the other white man is here. Yeah.
What I said is synthetic.
Now it looks. You're stiff. Where? Where?
It's literally synthetic.
Where? It's stiff. It's stiff. You're so funny. You're so funny. It's freezing. Check your internet, y'all. I think we got a blackout. Like a minute ago. But anyway, Dean, stay out of black women's business. So again, do you want to actually make an argument for spanking? Do you want to make an argument? Stop talking about my looks, because you can never. All right? You can never.
Girl, beef so fucking for real. Anyways, back to...
I'm being nothing but realistic here. I just want you to be set some realistic standards for yourself.
You keep putting a background on because your house looks crazy. Like, look at the curtains in the back.
All right, bro, Lauren, let's stop.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Lauren, we're gonna get back on topic now. So
yeah, this is stupid. Please.
You don't think that spanking's abuse, right? So yeah. So would you say that physical abuse is the unjustified hitting of an individual?
You said it's physical abuse, the unusual hitting a person. What'd you say?
Why is spanking not abuse? Let's start there.
I said spanking wasn't abuse because if a child had done something wrong, then discipline should be taken.
Wait, why is spanking the only form of discipline?
It doesn't have to be the only form of discipline. It is one form of discipline.
Why is it an effective form of discipline in your eyes?
Why is it an effective form of discipline? Because if I was to do something and my parents was to beat me, now I know not to do it again. Why would I want to do that if I don't want to get a beating again?
Yeah, but is that like a good motivating factor for why you're not doing something? Like, why wouldn't you want them to like not do it because they actually believe it or like they don't really want to do it? I feel like that kind of causes you to like do otherwise, right? I mean, if you think about it in the context of like say like my parents, they don't want me drinking. Right, and I'm out drinking with my friends in high school, right? I'm less likely to call them if something goes wrong because I don't want to get punished. So it's actually making me less safe because I'm more likely to do something in which is like dumb, right? Or without parental supervision.
Y'all, do not fucking go on her account and comment hate. You were joking. It wasn't that deep. Stop it. The fuck is your problem? Don't do that shit.
I appreciate that. But I can understand what you're saying with that one too. I guess it would cause you to be more fearful of your parents. But how I view it is the fear that my parents inflicted on me was more so of like a respect type of fear. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't do certain things because one, I knew I was going to get in trouble for it, i.e. a butt whipping. And two, I also had that type of scared respect for my parents that I wouldn't do those things because I knew the outcome.
And like, I mean, I did things because I genuinely believed in them. I thought they were the right thing, right? So what motivating factor do you think is better for a child?
Well, if my child continues to do something after I verbally told them not to, or verbally told them that it wasn't the right thing to do.
Sometimes it takes them time to learn. I think maybe them doing that shows them that maybe they don't believe that it's as bad as you're referencing.
In that time of learning, if a parent decides to put their hands on them because they're not learning, I don't think.
Okay, so what would you say that should be true in the context of school systems as well? Appreciate the confetti. Thank you. Like, I mean,
course not.
clearly, right? Wouldn't it be effective for learning there?
They're not
What's
their
up?
parents. I said, of course not. They're not their parents.
It's still going to be effective for learning.
They're not their parents.
So
That's a huge difference. If
it was
my
for
parents-
learning, right? We're talking. This is the whole purpose of schools for learning, right? So if it's so effective for learning, well, then you have to use it in school.
situation.
Wait, if we don't have to use it in
It's
school
about
systems,
parents.
why do you have to use it in the home?
But you do everything that you do in the home.
Name one thing that we would need to do in the context of school systems, right? That would be not context in the context of school systems. Name me one thing as it relates to what I said, right? Like, why wouldn't we?
Why wouldn't we what? What I'm saying is that we don't do everything that we do in the school system that we do in the household. And with that being said, a teacher is not my parent.
No. In terms of learning, though,
Hands-
because we're talking about in the context of learning. The purpose is learning.
What was that?
So, name one thing in the context of the school system.
You said one system. What do you say?
Yeah, name one disciplinary mechanism as it relates to that we wouldn't apply in the school system as it relates to learning, that we would allow in households.
What weapons? You're kind of lagging
Appreciate
in the
handout.
back.
Thank you so much. I'm lagging. Did I lag there, anyone?
It's like I don't know. I guess it's a TikTok thing. I don't know. Parker, you just fucking up.
I think I messed it up, chat.
Wait, no, it's back to normal now.
I'm not getting any lag. It looks like
No.
there's a little bit of lag for a little bit, but everything's
Yeah.
good now. It was probably just associated with the blackout.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, yeah, can you name one disciplinary mechanism that we allow in the context of like households that we don't allow in the context of school systems that relates to the context of learning outside of spanking?
Is that not the
They
same?
allow that in schools.
In schools, do they not put you?
And that it's more effective to do time in. You want to remove someone from the circumstance and then conversate. You don't want to destroy that branch of communication.
But something that they do in schools is not letting kids out for recess. Like they do shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
That's time out.
right.
Okay, so again, my point is name one disciplinary mechanism that they don't allow in the context of school, or that relates to the context of learning.
Fuck out. Okay.
Did she just leave?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yikes, chat. Yikes.
You know what? W wig in the chat. W hair hat. W hair hat.
That is
in the
wild.
chat.
Did she actually just leave?
Yeah.
Appreciate the hand art. Thank you so much.
Good one. That's hilarious. Hi, how old are you?
40.
Cool. So do you think that spanking is abuse?
I guess it depends.
On?
I don't think it's abuse if, like, for instance, like, if there's something that my children aren't listening to, like, if they're about to run into the middle of the street and I'm like, stop, and they still go into the middle of the street, I think that a spanking would be okay. I don't think just spanking for every little thing or to punish them for every little thing. I think they need to learn from things and we need to walk them through things. But I think if there's like severe danger associated, then I don't think that I think it shocks them into being like, okay, like I don't need to do that.
Okay, I guess this is me. Anyway.
I was gonna let you respond. I thought you wanted to.
Sorry, the way y'all looked at me. I'm sorry. That was kind of hilarious. Yeah, so like you said, like in the case of like your child running into the street, that this would be like an effective way of teaching them not to do that.
I do. Yeah, or like if I've like a safety issue, like if I've told my child like, no, you can't ride your bicycle without a helmet, and then they go out and they try to ride their bicycle without a helmet, then I think that they get a spanking. I think if it's something, and I think if you're
Spank
not,
your child for not wearing a helmet.
yeah, because that's dangerous if you're not wearing a helmet. If you're right.
It's also dangerous to spank them, right? Spanking can lead to greater likelihood of them having anxiety, PTSD, depression, more likely for them to engage in aggressive behavior or behavior that you would consider bad insofar as that they would need this exact same type of quote unquote punishment again.
I don't think that you should spank in anger. I think that you should talk to them first if you're angry, and then I don't think
Can you give me any study that would indicate that if you just calm down, that these detrimental outcomes as it relates to spanking don't occur?
No, I
Right,
don't.
and also, I'd like to add on to that, right? Like your intent for why you would spank would not cause or would not change the propensities of these negative outcomes, right? It's like for this reason, like in the context of domestic abuse, right? The intent of the abuser is not like considered in the context of the trial for the reason that the intent would not change the impact.
Really fast.
Someone's intent does not change the impact of their actions.
Okay, who's in what intent of what?
Like if you were to like calm down and spank them in a loving manner in comparison to being frustrated and spanking them because you're hot.
Right, because
Unless you could provide any evidence otherwise.
well, I would say that usually abuse happens when somebody's extremely angry, and that's how abuse happens. I mean, I was abused when I was younger, and
Wait, that's usually when abuse happens, but this isn't what would constitute it as being abuse or not abuse. Like for instance, right? If like if I'm married to someone and I'm just kind of a piece of shit and she's doing something that I don't necessarily like, I didn't even mean to do that. Fuck Parker. And she's like doing something that I didn't necessarily like. I'm a loving husband, right? So I try to correct her behavior by, you know, popping her in the jaw. Like this is obviously still going to be abuse.
no, I mean, I'm not going to spank my child when they're 18. I'm not going to. I mean, at that point.
Wait, the relevant factor right now that we're measuring is going to be like the intent as to why you would do it, not necessarily like any other factors. We're just showing, right, that one's like anger levels in their children are not relevant to like the detrimental outcomes in which would occur, such as the higher likelihoods for all the conditions in which Parker named off.
But the fact of the matter is I understand you're not talking about age, but like if I spank my kid, it's not illegal. But if I go and pop my husband in the jaw, that is illegal.
I mean, I think both should be illegal.
It's your opinion.
Yeah, but like we can't appeal to like the current legality to like necessarily like guide us in the correct direction. I mean, just imagine if like Southern plantation owners did this, you know, in the earlier 19th century.
Right, but at this very moment in time, you can't pop your girlfriend in the jaw because you.
But we're not talking about legality here. We're talking about what's right or wrong, and what's right or wrong is not dependent upon legality. Like once again, imagine if a Southern plantation owner in the earlier 19th century as to you right now, basing what they find right and wrong off of what's legal and illegal.
But why are we not talking about legality? Because you don't want to, or?
Because legality does not dictate what is morally right and wrong. Do you disagree with this statement?
No.
Okay, if you don't disagree with this statement, then why would you find any relevancy in telling me what is currently legal and illegal?
I'm just saying that as of right now, if you were to do that, you would go to jail.
But I wouldn't find it wrong because I'd go to jail. Because even if I go to jail for that, I still think it's wrong.
Yeah. And
Y'all, 1 second. Never mind.
I'm
1, go! One, go!